I mean, we look alike. I
did that. I just told you. I just gotta do that.
Yeah, he goes, I've been calling Cody Corey.
I don't know why
because we do look so much alike.
He thinks I'm white.
I mean,
I don't see color. It's
clearly because one of us is
bright red.
One is bright red.
And
the other
black.
The other one has a slight pigmentation that resembles a darker shade of.
You see shades of wheat?
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of like this. We might keep that in as the intro. Hey guys.
I hope you're ready.
Yeah, welcome.
Oh, boy.
Welcome. So, as you can tell, we have another esteemed guest with us today. This is Cody, my friend Cody, that I call Corey. I don't know why, but I do.
I mean, there's
weird.
one letter difference between our names, so it's kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
so weird.
Besides the likeness,
Yeah.
that one letter difference is,
Yeah. So. Yeah. So Cody is. How long have I known you? 3 years, something like that.
A while.
Yeah. Wow. So he owns his own training business, but he has an interesting spin on things, and I use that word very correctly because he does spinning kicks that are incredible. So yeah, we'll get into that. We'll kind of get into his background. We'll kind of get into what he does. He's again big advocate for what we preach about men's mental health, and he works with special needs. So yeah, super cool. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. So he's a good friend of the store. So Yonkers Nutrition Central, shameless plug. If you need anything, let us know. We'll reach out. We'll help you. But yeah, good friend of the store, and just kind of built a relationship from there. Super good dude, man. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I'm so out of it.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
You might want to chug that and then get another one.
I'm at like.
I think he's trying to hit.
I'm not trying to hit anything. It just happens to be.
Maybe
I think this makes like 700 or 800 milligrams for me for the day.
And you're still not firing on all cylinders right now.
No, training was hard. I did some hard ass training this morning. It was awesome. Did some really cool. Did a 4x3 with 340 on press. And then did some...
Moved good. Moved really good.
Yeah, moved really good. I'm really happy with how I was moving. Did some board presses with 315 that just exploded off the chest. It was really good. Then took the 120-pound dumbbells for a ride and did some tricep stuff and did some more lat back work. It was fucking... Dude, it was killer. I'm so tired right now. I'm so detrained. It's unreal. I'm so detrained.
All right, so how's the nutrition been for the day?
Nutrition's
on point?
Yeah, nutrition's good. Okay. Like with that meal, it was a little too long, I will admit, but training went way long.
All right, I was gonna say, did you get the time in for your first meal? Mm-hmm. Did you do a snack in between?
No, I should have.
Okay.
But excuse me, it was supposed to be. It should have been a meal an hour and a half before. I just finished eating. So it should have been an hour and a half ago is when I should have eaten. But again, training went way long.
Well, I mean,
my snack, which means I have to rush my snack later.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
I got some good snacks today.
The Quest chips.
Yeah, dude, always.
Oh, so good.
Quest chips. So Quest chips, and then I've got 2 of those cottage cheese fruit cups.
Okay. Yeah.
So good. So 50 grams. 50 grams. Okay. Okay. So perfect. All right. Let's segue into this. So we're all over the fuck. You've watched it. We're all over the place. I almost said it, but I did you see that? I reeled myself back. The F word.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actively working on trying to use the F word less, even though it's, one of my favorite words. But I'm trying to cut back.
Well, okay.
Yeah. All things in moderation.
Yeah. You start saying fracking or something?
I don't know. There was one episode where I kept saying "shut the front door." You remember that?
Yeah.
I can only imagine you were like, "What the hell?"
No. My uncles said "shut the front door" all the time. That's a phrase I'm incredibly familiar with. I knew exactly what you were saying.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, for those of you out there, it's like, oh, it's hard to get my protein in the day. No, it's not. It's super easy. I've got Quest chips. And 2 things of cottage cheese and fruit that are like together in these cups. It's 50 grams. It's actually 52, 55 grams.
I can't with cottage cheese.
That's just one of those things you just hork it down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because...
And then it comes up.
Yeah.
It comes out.
It's like cum. It's just not. It's like runny snot.
Oh God,
it's so good with fruit though.
Making that hard sell for me to get some of that right now.
Yeah, man, it's delicious.
No, see, I'd just rather blend it with some eggs and throw it in a.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm
the point is that I have prepackaged food, and again, not all prepackaged food's garbage. I've got prepackaged food that easily hits me at 50 grams in a snack it's not filling, right? And I think it winds up being 400 something calories. Like
that's not bad.
No. It's nothing. And it's like I don't remember the fat, but altogether it's something like 400 calories.
So what's the calorie intake supposed to be
for the day?
Yeah.
Floating around. I'm kind of playing with it.
Yeah.
So I was in a deficit before.
Right.
And I'm trying to work up into maintenance. The problem is right now I don't know where maintenance is at. My previous maintenance was way higher than it is now because I was training so much more then.
Right.
So my training is, I'm coming back into it. So my training is a lot less, which means my maintenance is less. So
right.
I have an idea. I think it's around 32.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So I'm kind of playing around that number. Yeah. So 32, but then carbs are moderate, protein's high, carbs moderate, fats.
What do you do for the carb or for your protein? 215, 220?
230.
230?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
2-ish. Yeah, 230-ish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little bit higher than what like I normally would do for me.
Yeah.
But again, I'm coming back into it.
Yeah.
I'm taking some compounds that help heal, like some peptides and stuff. So with that, I'm upping the protein intake to kind of take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But
so with the peptides, are you experiencing? Is your hunger increased?
Oh, jeez, yes. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. So so with the IGF, with the insulin growth-like factor, or insulin-like growth factor, I don't know, IGF. Yes, with that, my hunger is spiked, and it's and like the ibutamorin is like that too, and it again increases the IGF. So yeah, super hungry. So having to reel that back. Marshmallow urge is strong.
God. Now, when I tried, I know I already can feel your eyes burning into my head right now. When I tried semaglutide, just for a trial, I know, but I tried it. It didn't work for me at all. I mean, and if anything, it did the exact opposite. I got hungrier.
That's interesting.
I mean, I was training heavier. I was training harder.
Well, hold on. Those are two different statements. You were training heavier, or you were training harder.
I was training harder.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was trying to.
When did you cheat? When did you cheat on me?
This was about a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, this was before I talked to you about nutrition.
This was. No, it was over a year.
No. Yeah, okay, so it was over a year ago.
It had to have been.
Yeah,
when did we start that journey?
Devin was still at the gym, so it was over a year ago.
It had to have been over a year. Oh, like well over a year.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But you cheated. You cheated.
You?
I'm disappointed. No, on the system.
Oh yeah.
On the process.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but here's the thing.
Semaglutide can work, and it has its place.
It has its
in
place.
Those who are diabetic. You're not diabetic.
I'm not diabetic. No. Although pretty close. But anyway, no. I thought I'd try it out, and my hunger level just skyrocketed.
That's weird.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
Because anybody else that I've talked to that's tried it, they're like, I'm not hungry at all. In fact, I'm nauseous. I can't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know about y'all, but
More food.
This fat kid can just plow through some food right now,
dude. Yeah.
It didn't work for me.
God, I'm so sorry.
That's the first time I've ever heard that before.
Yeah,
Well,
me
see,
too.
and now,
Yeah, me
but I'm actually not the only one. Eric
Really?
Garcia,
Yeah.
same thing. He was like, dude,
Weird.
it makes me hungry.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I know, like, you and I personally know some people.
Oh yeah,
that
and they've had fantastic
phenomenal
results on.
It has its place. It's not for everyone.
No, it's
There's
not.
going to be. This
It's
is
not.
this is one of those things where 5 years from now, people are gonna have like there's gonna
Adverse
be class
effects.
class action lawsuits.
I'm sure one of your loved ones have had this. Call 1-800
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oops. Right after those asbestos ads for like the like.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Yeah.
annoying.
I know a few people with where I work at who take all of that stuff, and it's very awkward to watch how it's a quick fix.
Yeah.
So why don't you work out? Why don't you get a trainer? Why don't you go to the gym consistently? And they're like,
work on your nutrition. Can I just take a drug?
No.
It's either that or else they're like, I have this goal. I'll go get a BBL.
Yeah.
I'll go get that. And I'm like,
Well, I mean,
so he works in a clinic too. So you have like first-hand experience with all that kind of stuff.
it's interesting. So I have some people I know they take it, and I can't tell you how many times I've been walking and I'm carrying my plate of food because I'm excited for lunch, and I'm like, haha, and I'm holding on, and all of a sudden I just see somebody beelining it past me. I'm like, what's going on? I just hear,
Oh, God.
I'm like, you okay? They're like, I ate this much and it came up, and I'm like, what's wrong with you?
No, it
No.
Shut up.
No.
I'm like, keep eating, it's fine.
Keep eating.
Power through. Just keep going. Power through it.
Oh, when I tried to gain weight, I was like, Andrew, what if I throw up? He's like, it's fine.
You gonna throw
Keep
up?
eating.
Keep going.
Yeah. Hey, you throw up.
Heard those lines before.
It's like,
Heard
I don't
that
want
before.
to. It's fine.
Dude, let me tell you something. If you throw up, those calories are no longer in your body. You have to replace them.
You want to hit your goals?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Keep going.
You gotta keep eating. Yeah.
Yep.
Even if you got to cry.
Yeah. And there are ways to mitigate that, right? And but the protocols I give are very specific. So like 30-minute windows.
Yeah.
If you're not eating in that 30-minute window, like, and you start going over, it starts bleeding over into the other aspects of the program. So you better figure this out.
Did he give you a timeline too?
So
No, I haven't done his formal yet.
Oh, you
No,
haven't?
no,
So we're still working on it.
Yeah, but he has told me, he's like, he's like, for you to try to put on a little bit more mass.
Yeah.
Because I was roughly when I was in my 20s, I stayed between about 125, 130.
Okay.
Then when I hit 27, I started hitting the 140s.
Uh-huh.
And then essentially tragedy struck. I got too heavy. I dropped the weight.
Yeah.
Started over.
And then I kind of started over.
Yeah.
And then I think that was probably at the time where I came in, and then somehow I randomly became friends with him. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. Oh, because I'm just.
He's friendly.
Oh, yeah.
I like hugs.
I was like, who's this?
I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, what's up? I was like, hi. He's like, come here. And I was like,
I don't like the first time. I like the first time.
Friends don't shake hands. Friends got a hug.
but I was like, but I told him, I was like, I'm struggling a little. But I told him I'm struggling a little bit. He's like, 30-minute window. And I was like, what is that? He's like, I need you to eat
consume.
this. And then all of a sudden.
And he's like telling me like, he's like, I'm eating this, this, and this. I'm like, bro.
Not enough.
Bro. Eat. You want to get big, you got to eat.
Yeah.
It is like, and now you're doing great though. Like your weight's up 30 pounds in the past 7 months-ish, something like that, 7, 8 months.
I'm about 181.
Yeah, you were 150.
And my fiance was there because she was like, hey, don't eat. Sitting in the background. I'm like, I'm going to eat. She's like, nuh-uh.
She trolls the shit out of him. It's so funny.
Accountability and a snitch.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes
Which is great.
Need that. You need that sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Which is great because, which comes to like a lot of factors in life that people don't think about. If I didn't have her, I know I would be pretty good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't be where I'm at.
Right.
But it's the same thing when you look at friendships. You have these people that are like, oh, I am your friend. And then when you do something messed up, they just go, I'm just going to turn over here. Yeah. My problem.
Well, I mean,
so,
yeah, it's like having those yes men in your life or yes women where there's like, it's cool, you know. We don't judge when you get that other friend be like, you know you done fucked up.
Yeah, I don't mess around. Yeah. I don't mess around with my friends.
No, he won't. Oh, no, no.
I love my people. Like, I love my people hard. And if you tell me something, and I make it very clear that, like, okay, you're telling me this. Like, that means you're committed. You're telling this to me, and I'm like, okay, like, that's what we're going to do, and everything's cool. Yeah. And then I start hearing some bullshit, and I'm like, nah, bitch, you told me this. We're getting it done. This is what we're gonna do. So quit your whining, eat, consume that steak.
If you give me steak, I'll be like,
What's funny though is that he doesn't care what your age is.
for real.
He will tell you.
What does it matter?
Yeah. No, I'm just like my 14-year-old. Okay.
Oh
He's
yeah,
doing his
dude.
training.
I laid into
Oh,
it.
he laid into him, and I'm just sitting there going, "You wanted this, so I'm just gonna sit back and watch."
You tell me something. You okay? If I tell you something, I've thought about it, and there's a reason why those words are coming out of my mouth. Like I've already committed myself to saying, okay, this is the truth.
Yeah.
I expect everyone else to do the same thing. And if you're telling me something, that's your truth, and that's what we're gonna go on.
Yeah, we've had.
And I'll hold you to it.
We've had plenty of conversations where it's like, with even small issues I've had, and I'm like, I'm struggling. Like, I just can't get it, and I don't know where I'm at, and I'm like, don't want to tell my dad, because that's a whole different ball game. That's a little scary talking to, Mr. Military over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like,
Suck it up, boy.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah. So we'll get into that.
it's like, I'll ask Andrew, and Andrew's like, well, have you done this?
Yeah.
Well, I've tried this. And the moment he hears an excuse, shut up. You're right. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear excuses.
Well, and that's what you want out of a coach. That's what you're going to want, somebody who's supposed to help guide you on the journey of a goal that you yourself set and is going to keep you accountable, and who's going to sit there and call you out on your bullshit. Otherwise, you're just paying somebody to
Babysit you.
babysit,
Yeah,
or
yes,
not even
man.
babysit you. They're just going to be a little cheerleader.
Yeah.
And
You did
they're,
so good.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? A lot of times, especially when it comes to fitness goals or weight goals or whatever, you don't need a cheerleader. You don't need a yes man. You need somebody who's going to help keep you accountable, because a lot of times it is hard when you were sitting there and you're only consuming 1,800 calories and you're like, I want to eat, and I want to eat now. And sorry.
No, don't.
Yeah. Nope.
No, you have a plan. You're going to eat in 2 hours. Suck it up.
Yeah. Or if you're going to be trying to put on weight and you're like, I can't eat anymore.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can. You can do it.
Take a deep breath to shovel it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Dude, it goes not. I am not end all be all. All right, and I am not genetically blessed by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
So if I can do it, you can do it. I know you can. You just gotta suck it up and just do it.
Yeah.
So my question would be for y'all, when it comes to the hard, I guess that hard conversation, what's a good way to always handle stuff like that? Even though you're honest, because some people do not take that well.
You talking about like with a client?
Right.
Like with
So-
a client or a friend?
No,
Because
with
those
the-
are two different conversations.
So with the friend, that's a different ballgame. But
Yeah.
with like a client, because I did have to have a hard conversation with the client, and I was like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, and by no means this is to make you feel bad or to tear you down. But this is what's gonna be expected, because you can't expect all this out of me, and then when you show up, you're like, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be this, because if I turn around and did it, you're gonna want to fire me.
Yeah.
And I'm like vice versa. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I love what you just said. So yes, approach it. You approach it all the right way, and I don't know if you use that line about firing, but you should. I've worked with people that like have been late and late consist. Like things happen, things come up. It's fine. Like I've got 3 kids. I've got a day job. I got a night job. I've got my businesses. I got all that shit going on. Trust me, I know things come up. That being said, have I ever been late to a podcast?
No.
Have I ever been late to a training session?
No.
No. You know why? Because I compartmentalize, and I don't make excuses for myself, and I make sure that everything within my control, I control it.
Yeah.
Again, things do happen. So what I tell clients, the late, I'm gonna harp on the late thing, and then I'll get to the other part of what you said. The late thing is really important. If they're not compartmentalizing and they're not making that a priority, they don't really care.
Yeah.
And they're spending their money. Now, you as a coach have 2 options: take their money, or be a good coach and call them out on their shit. And that's what I like to do. If someone's late to me one time, I say, okay, like this came up, whatever. If you're late again, we're gonna have an issue. They're late again, right? They're like, okay, we have an issue. If you're late one more time, or if you don't show one more time, I'm firing you as a client. That's it. 3 strikes.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it. You're done.
Yeah.
And like and that's happened before. That's happened with clients. I say, oh, dude, all power to you, man. I hope you figure out your journey. This is not it may not be a no forever. It may just be a no right now, and it may be you're just not committed right now. All the power to you, bro. I really appreciate it, but I can't commit myself to you more than you commit yourself to yourself.
Yeah,
I just can't do it, and I struggle with that because I struggle with wanting it more for them than they want it for themselves, and I have to back off.
Yeah, I was actually just about to make that comment. Whereas I know you, when it comes to you and your clients, you, for lack of better phrasing, love too hard. And you take it personally.
Not just clients, everyone.
Well, yeah, and you take it almost personally when they don't prioritize the goals that they set for themselves and have hired you, that you've invested your time and your energy in it.
100%.
And
their goals are now my goals.
Yeah.
And I take goals very seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, would you say you do that to a detriment, or you as well? Do y'all take it too far?
I have the inclination to, yes, but I have set boundaries. Yeah, and that like what I just said, like going through that kind of a process has helped a lot.
Yeah. What about for you?
I don't.
No.
And that came from, like, at first, when I first started, because building, you want to say, please,
you want
everybody.
retention,
You want that
as
retention.
many people. Yeah.
But at the same time, I was lucky enough to be in a business prior where I kind of understood that. So I was able to go, you can't save everybody.
Right.
You're only going to want to be pushed as much as you want to. I can want everything in the world for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you can go, no, I don't feel like it today.
Yeah.
And I just have to go, I tried.
Yeah.
And that's and that's the way you got to look at it.
Yeah.
Like when I went to school to be an EMT at one point in time, I had somebody ask me, how do you deal with death? It's kind of I kind of used that idea when it came to clients. I only know so much in the training I had.
Right.
I was a basic.
Yeah.
There's nothing much I can do beyond that. Wasn't a paramedic, so I can say, as long as I did everything in my power to do what I could to help somebody,
Yeah.
if they don't make it, I'm sorry. That's all I can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do the best you can with what you have.
Yeah. And it's the same way with training.
Yeah. So real quick, can I answer the other part of that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the other part of that is like the client approaching training with tenacity and like actually getting at it and actually like taking it seriously. The other part of that, whenever they're not doing it, and I'm seeing that they're not doing it consistently, I will pull them aside very caringly. And I'll pull them aside and I say, hey, we talked about how hard you need to train. We talked about what it is you need to do to hit the goals that you set out. Okay. Are those still your same goals? Like now that we've been training for a little bit, have things changed? Has your life changed? So it's very empathetic. I'm trying to approach it from I'm trying to give them as much benefit of the doubt as I can.
Right.
And if they tell me that, no, I still have the same goals, like we're still at it, whatever, I say, okay, I need you to pick up the training. I need you to do XYZ, whatever it may be, in order to hit the goals and the timeline that we talked about. If you don't, you're gonna fail. If you fail, I fail. So we need to establish this right now. Are you gonna pick it up? Okay. If they say yes, great. And they do it, great. If they say yes, fantastic. If they don't do it, I fire them. I give them 6 weeks. After that, I give them 6 weeks.
So is that your way of doing a mental health check too?
Now,
kind of, yeah. Because good point. Because things do come up, I've had clients that have dealt with death in their families during like training blocks, and I've had all kinds of stuff, right? And it's at that point, it's like, okay, I got you. Like let's kind of change the training up a little bit. Let's kind of make it like better timing, like with the nutrition, like we can. For like I run specific protocols. We can change the protocol up a little bit, make it easier. Let's run this easier setup for whatever amount of time, and then at this date we pick it back up.
Okay.
Yeah, but I set very specific timelines, and I make sure I'm clear. Like, okay, I'm giving you 6 weeks to turn this around. If you don't, I'm firing you.
Okay.
I make it very clear.
Okay.
And then that way, when it happens, hey, and it's always, I'm like, dude, it just didn't work out. Good luck, man. I'll power, or if it's a woman, good luck.
More power to you. Yeah. Now, so you work in a clinic.
Yes.
You had studied to be a paramedic?
Well, I studied to be an EMT, and I took the class a few times. I had some stuff happen, and I was like, I legit beat myself up over it because I couldn't get past the national registry. I was great in the field. I'm like, you can ask me anything, and I'm like, bam.
Yeah.
Somebody sat me down and went, maybe this ain't the path you're supposed to be on.
Really?
That's so funny that you just said it like that. Because our last guest said this almost the same thing about somebody grandmothered him. It was like, baby, that's not your problem.
Yeah.
Like, this is your problem.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And I've had that conversation with you. I love this.
But it's so crazy because even my dad's like, you've been in the medical field for so long. You know this.
Right.
And he always pushed me. He was like, finish your EMT. And finally he goes, maybe you were meant to never go further in that, because like, look at where you're at now. He's like, you learned all of this knowledge about how the body works, and he's like, I helped you get started when you were like 10 years old, because he was the one who started me in martial arts, which kind of led on to a lot of things. He goes, he's like, you started with that, started learning all the medical stuff, and then it gave you a better experience of how the body worked. He goes, why do you think you did so well when you went to tournaments? He's like, you started to understand movement. He's like, you started to understand all of that stuff. He goes, somehow that's how it worked for you. He's like, it may have not been the right path. He's like, yeah, we spent money. He goes, but at the same time, he's like, everybody else would have said you wasted money.
Yeah.
He goes, in my opinion, he goes, you made the most out of everything. He's like, and it was worth it, because look at where you are now.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So sometimes the path that we go on and we think we really want is not necessarily, I'm going to say necessarily the path that God wants you to be on.
Right.
Or something, whatever you believe in, is not the path you're supposed to be on.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't realize that all our little experiences do level out to where we need to be anyway.
It's weird how that works out.
Yeah. And so would you say, things happen for a reason? Yeah. Which is funny. This is probably the third time I've heard that phrasing in the last 24 hours.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I had a conversation with my father this morning. Said the exact same thing. Had another conversation with another customer, or not customer, but a client of mine. Same thing. To where, I always have been a full believer that, things don't always work out the way we planned, but they happen for a reason. And it's funny that you went to school to be a paramedic, or excuse me, an EMT. Was it to be a firefighter, or was it strict emergency technician?
I just want to be an emergency technician. I loved the crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, it
chaos,
was
really
right. So chaos. Believe it or not, I thrive in chaos.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you can put me in a room, and they're like, everything's burning down, and everybody's like, oh my god, and I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. I'm like, you come here.
Oh yeah.
You stop. But I think the one thing that kind of broke me from really wanting it was I worked 2 deaths.
Yeah.
So one of them was a 4-year-old. I got thrown in. I got thrown into that, and I was like, we need somebody to do chest compressions. I was like, oh, okay. I just walk in. I'm like, yeah, do my best.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the lady I was with was like, they called it, and I looked down, and she went, bring your little behind on. Let's go. And she dragged me out the room, started giving me food.
Yeah.
And then another one was a 21-year-old who told his parents, hey, I don't want to be here no more. And that was a big perspective for me. For you to tell your parents you don't want to be here, and they went, we don't believe that. And then they find you in the backyard.
Oh, God. That's so real. And that's something we've talked about numerous times. That you have to take that seriously.
You've got to reach out. Those who are struggling, for those who are needing help.
But he did reach out.
Yes. Yeah.
And they didn't.
They didn't take it seriously. And I don't care if you're just looking for attention. I don't care if you're half-hearted about it. It needs to be taken seriously.
It needs to be taken seriously, and help needs to be help needs to be rendered.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's a cry for help no matter how you look at it, in my opinion. Yeah, I actually went to school wanting to be a firefighter.
Wow.
I got as far as my EMT intermediate, and I remember knowing that it was not for me when I came up on an MVA and it involved an infant.
Nope.
And my parents had just adopted my baby sister.
Oh yeah, you told me.
And I was like, I mean,
Wild.
once we cleared the scene, but I will never forget that baby.
I can't imagine.
And I was like, nah, I can't. It's not for me. God bless the emergency technicians and the people in the ER and the first responders.
and police.
I mean, good God. I mean,
I don't
all
care.
first responders.
Yes,
That's some strong people.
Those are some strong. Oh yeah, and I could not tip my hat enough to them.
I couldn't do it.
It is not for everybody.
My wife's father is retired KDPD.
Yeah.
And the stories he has, and like, dude, like the amount, like the things that they see and the things that they deal with, like you have no idea.
Oh.
Like unless you're. And I don't even, and I've like, he's told me stories, but I haven't lived the life. I don't know the amount of fear. And my wife has told me stories where like she's a little girl and she's up all night crying because she's like, am I going to see my daddy tomorrow?
Yeah.
Right. Like unreal kind of suffering for those people, dude. If you are a first responder, hats off to you.
Oh, God.
We love you.
Y'all are
We
awesome.
love you.
Oh,
Y'all are
absolutely,
incredible.
100%. Yeah, and even the stories things that I've seen just from clinicals alone are insane.
Yeah.
And so I can't imagine those who do it day in and day out, what they see. And the career lifespan of those people is so short, especially the EMTs. I think it was like I think the average career is like, I think 3 to 5 years.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
The burnout is so
I believe
bad.
it. I believe it.
Yeah,
I
the burnout
know
is
that
so
one.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes
I want
its
to
toll.
say something real quick. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Me and Cody kind of giggled a little bit. Not at your story.
Oh, no.
But my daughter is on the couch right behind, and she had this super cute
Squeaker.
squeak. Yeah, so y'all probably didn't pick it up because of the mics and stuff. But yeah, she squeaked. I wasn't laughing at what you were saying.
That
No,
little
I
happiness.
I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So I was just like, here in the
Yeah,
background
yeah,
here too.
but they
yeah,
don't, yes.
but it's mind. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you're okay. So you're. Let's kind of dive into that. Let's kind of dive into your story. You started doing martial arts like at 10?
Like 10-ish.
10ish. And
So-
what was your cup of tea? What was your specialty?
So I went into Taekwondo following in my dad's footsteps. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So my dad was a martial artist
Okay.
in New Orleans and all that other stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Whenever he was younger, he did different things and stuff like that.
Was he career military though?
Yes.
That was his thing. Okay, got it. All right.
So my dad's done a lot of stuff. He was career military. He retired twice. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
know, right? Once when I was born,
Yeah.
and then once when I graduated high school.
Oh, what a badass.
Jeez.
Right, that's what I said.
Yeah.
So he did that. He kind of didn't know what I would want to do growing up. Like, he didn't know if I was going to be like, I want to play baseball, football, this. And I'm like,
That's so wild.
I was not into traditional sports. Like,
Yeah.
I tried football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you think? Why am I getting in trouble because he showed up late? That to me
Yeah.
just
Why are we all gonna run?
Yeah, make him run. He
Yeah.
showed up late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basketball, I felt the same way, and I was like, I'm not. I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I love the sport, don't want to play it.
Yeah.
Then he slowly was like, here, let's watch this movie together. And it was just like, we watched Enter the Dragon, The Last Dragon, all of these random martial arts movies where we're just like bonding.
Yeah.
All the
And-
dragons.
All of them. And then,
Double.
Yeah.
and then
God,
Double Dragon.
so bad. Double Dragon was terrible.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And
Such a
then
terrible movie.
This is so bad.
now I'm going to go home and watch it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
so bad. Oh my God.
like today's a good day for you to do it because you're not working today, but don't do it when you don't watch that movie. You have other things to do.
No. You're gonna be like 3/4 of the end way just texting
So
it.
bad.
What in God's name are you making me watch?
Why?
Why do you do this to me?
But he showed me those, and then he started telling me stories like, yeah, I used to do this when I was younger, and I'm like,
That's cool.
younger? Like, I was like, I don't understand what that meant when I was, a kid.
Yeah.
And then he started showing me different things. And we just hang out in the backyard, like, this is how you do this move, this is how you do this. Eventually, we started trying schools.
That's cool, yeah.
And I found one in spring, and I stuck it out. I became like a junior instructor at a young age and everything else. And then I just stopped for a little while.
Yeah.
Started going to Lone Star in college and stuff. And I walked into a different studio and was like, I need something else to do.
Yeah.
I'm getting bored because I was a dance teacher for a little while.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you told me about it. Yeah.
So we did that. And then I was like, all right, I'm over the dance scene. These dance moms drive me crazy. These people are arguing over like who's going to make it, who needs to be here. And then I walked in and I was like, I'm going to try a class. And I'm doing everything, throwing kicks. And the master goes, come back tomorrow. We need to have a conversation. I was like, oh, I done did something. And then I walked in. I come in. He's like, show me this. And he goes, so, want a job?
Oh, nice.
And I just hopped out and I hopped right back in. I
Dude,
told my
that's
dad.
awesome.
And he goes...
And you had no problem jumping right back into it. Like, I mean, you probably weren't as flexible as you needed to be, but like it just kind of.
Well, I would think that with
kind of
the dance background probably helped with flexibility.
Oh, I bet, yeah, for sure.
But that
I've seen some videos and clips of like his kicks and stuff. Insane.
So I went to that, and I was at that school for a little over 10 years.
Yeah.
I got to my 3rd degree black belt. I would have been like right now, if I was still with that school, I would technically be a master at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
when I was with that school, I thought their Taekwondo, their hyper program, which is they call it XMA or extreme martial arts, which is really funny because a lot of people are like, it's so brand new.
Extreme.
All you're doing is flips and kicks and stuff. Which
fancy stuff. Yeah.
When we were younger, it was called tricking.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's just tricky.
Not to be confused with something else.
No, like, there's someone that like I follow that does a lot of the tricky stuff. Juju Mufu. Yeah. He does some cool stuff. But yeah, he does those like crazy kicks and like he's big bodybuilder. He's like huge bodybuilder. And he does like perfect like Van Damme style splits. It's incredible.
Makes you jealous.
Ah, dude, it's
Wait,
incredible.
does that have to do with the handlebar mustache? The white dude?
Does he have a handlebar mustace? Long hair? Or he had long hair?
No. No.
I don't think he had a beard. He might have. I don't know.
At one point in time.
I don't know. All I know is like he's
Blonde hair.
He's huge.
He's
No,
big.
that-
He's jacked.
It
Yeah.
might be that who I'm thinking of. Might be somebody else.
Oh, yeah. Well,
check it
anyway,
out.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
Segue.
Detour. Yeah.
I did that. Then I taught their Krav program for a long time.
Really?
Oh, very cool.
Okay.
So I taught that. And then at one point in time, because I was the head instructor, not gonna lie, frustration does sit in a lot of times when it comes to training, especially when you're like, I don't get the exact amount. I'm putting all this effort into everybody else. What about me?
Right.
One day I did step down and was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be the head instructor anymore. And I gave it over to a different instructor. So I just dealt with their self-defense program.
Okay.
Which was so much fun. I got flown to Florida and all this other day, everything else, until one day something told me, your day's about to be interesting. I don't know what it was, but I got livid. I went to work. It was a great day, and the other instructor was teaching. And I got ticked. When I mean I got ticked, I just walked out the building. And I was like, I went around the corner to go eat.
Okay.
And it was because I was like, I went back and talked to the boss, and I was like, what is he doing? They're like, well, he's teaching. I'm like, go back and look at the kids. Like, go back and look at what they're doing. We all know this is not how we're supposed to be training.
Okay.
We know this is not how it's supposed to go.
Got it. Yeah.
And I'm like,
Was it like from a safety perspective or
it wasn't
like
from a safety perspective. My martial arts is intended to is to help you improve your mind, body, spirit, your confidence building, all of that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Because I believe that it's supposed to help you become a better person.
Right.
But I'm doing you a disservice if I go, you look great. I can't feed you that line because you're giving me a check.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Got it. Yeah. Same thing what we were talking about earlier.
Right. So that's where the
got
term like McDojos come in, or you hear belt factories.
Got it. Belt factory. Yes.
And I could not stand it.
Yeah,
it drove me nuts because there was kids who got belts.
Yeah, and that should not have.
And I'm like,
So
How?
it's what do you call it? The like participation awards.
Right.
Yeah, bullshit.
Right. So
We're
it
talking
ended,
about the last
we
episode.
sure did.
Yeah.
so what ended up happening was, I walked out there. I said, "Office." He's like, "No, you're not. I'll rank you. Get off my floor. Office." And I took back over, and then it was these
Back
kids
to
started
it.
going back on point because
Yeah. Did you have a lot of attrition from that?
a lot of what?
Attrition, like people dropping off because of that, because it got more strict.
No.
Okay.
So realistically, when you look at how, from when I was younger versus now,
Yeah.
your martial arts instructor is essentially like a mother figure or father figure
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
And
you
that's
know,
the way it's like always been.
Yeah.
and that's how it's supposed to be. But now
Right.
it's not. A lot of the times,
Not
it's
really.
not really like that anymore. It's just.
Is it more along the lines of like a pat on the back and hey, you're doing a great job, buddy?
Yeah.
It's a
you're
daycare.
getting coddling. There's a lot of coddling going on.
Right. So, for
Got it.
instance,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I had a school and your kids weren't doing well and I went, let me promote you right, y'all would drag me into the office and go, you
Yeah.
know that does not look right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
And we'd be on top of it and be like, that looks like shit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So
So
fix that.
So I had this one instance where my rule is if I tell you something, it's one time. Because how
Yeah.
you treat me tells me how you're treating your parents
Right.
And yourself.
and yourself. So if your parents say, if mom, dad says anything, it's yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir.
Yeah.
If I tell you line up, it's yes, sir, and you run to your spot and you stand up tall.
Yeah.
It was
It's not hard. You're not asking for a
Yeah.
lot. Like,
so it was black belts.
Yeah.
They were all testing for a new rank. I told them once, got no response. Went, okay. My boss saw it. She's like, oh, you about to have a field day with this. Second time, nothing. She's like, and now he's a little bit salty. It's fine. He can hold it. Third time, they all lined up. She looked at me. She went, you do what you want.
Yeah.
She's like, I got your back 100%.
Yeah,
and that
good,
was the
yeah.
biggest
Yeah.
blessing I had was her
good. Yeah.
having
Yeah.
my back, and bowed him in, said, guess what? I'll see y'all next year. Y'all all fail.
Nice.
Nice.
And
Good.
my brain was like, these parents are gonna cuss me out.
Yeah, whatever.
And I was kind of a little bit fearful because I also was still in my
Well, yeah,
20s.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that takes balls when you're like, you have all the years of experience of doing this, but like, you're dealing with parents and their kids, and they're again a situation where they're funding you, like they're giving you money, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, how do I approach this? And that takes experience to learn how to deal
Yeah.
with
And then, by my surprise, they all failed. They walked off sulking and everything. All the parents stood up, started clapping.
that. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Dude, perfect.
That's awesome.
Good.
And I had one parent that I started laughing so hard. Stood up, bet y'all won't do that again. I was like, stop, settle down.
Nice.
Then eventually they sold it to another school. So I got to go, cool part is I got to meet Chuck Norris and I got to go to Chuck Norris's house and train in his
That's
gym.
cool. Oh, that's cool.
That's so awesome.
So it was so much fun. They started learning stuff and they sold it to them. And then about a week or so before Christmas, they said, we got to let you go.
Oh,
So I got let go. It was what it was.
of
yeah.
course.
But I knew what was going to happen after they did that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then I went to another school. So by then I've learned some Taekwondo. So I had Taekwondo. I started learning some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
Was teaching Krav Maga.
Yeah.
And then I went to another school and I ended up learning Tung Sudo, which is kind of like the sister of Taekwondo.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
So I learned that, got let go. Thank you, COVID.
Yeah.
And then after that, I said, I'm over it. I can't do this whole, let me be the belt factory, let me do this.
Right.
I was like, I was done. So I just was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So, and I want to be able to teach kids, adults, this is how you handle yourself if you are in a situation where you have to defend yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what I always wanted to do.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
care about belts.
Yeah.
I don't care about, this kind of system where if you don't make it if you don't make it so far in this amount of time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna
it's not-
wanna
It's not
quit.
about that. Yeah,
Right.
it's not about that. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
it's about learning it and doing it and practicing. Yeah.
So luckily now, since I do that, and then I got into personal training because some of the stuff that we did with martial arts, we had a kind of a self-defense kickboxing kind of idea
Yeah.
that we got certified in and stuff. So I thought about it. I was like, I've been helping people lose weight doing martial arts.
Yeah.
Let me learn some more stuff.
Yeah.
And then now I got into personal training and that's when I just was like,
Yeah.
bitch.
Nice.
There it is.
It's such an interesting concept, like mixing martial arts with personal training, because then it raises all these other issues around like around mobility and around recovery and around like even training split and how to design the programming. Like it's very unique. It's very cool. It's very cool.
Mobility? What's that?
We wouldn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, which is funny because I've learned even like with you, I say Andrew is my unofficial official coach because
appreciate that, yeah.
like in a really good mentor. Because when I have questions, like I've walked in the shop and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I took a video and I'm like, I can't see it.
Right.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me what's wrong so I can fix it.
Yeah.
And that's another big thing that I learned too. A lot of people now, especially other trainers and other people I've worked with, they have this weird feeling of going, I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Where I've learned it's okay to not know the answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what's not okay is not to try to pursue
Pursue the answer.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I'm like, y'all got
Yeah.
God knows what 20 plus more experience than I do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go, I don't get it. Help.
Yeah.
Send help.
Yeah, and it's not
Yeah,
not just with him too. Like you sent me stuff for your clients, and I'm like, oh yeah, have them do this. And
Right.
it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
No, and that.
That's fine. Like I don't like. That's another thing. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's another thing. Like if you're a coach out there, like some people are so up their own ass that they're like, oh, I'm not going to give you any advice. You need to pay for it. Right?
Yeah.
I have no problem giving nuggets of advice. Like I'm not giving him a program. I'm not sacrificing time. Like in order to have a transaction, there has to be an equal exchange, right?
Yeah.
I'm not spending hours building him a program or building. Yeah, she's so cute. she's
Like a little
she sounds
chipmunk
a
laughing
goat.
in the background.
She's so funny. I'm not spending all this time. The transaction for being a coach is the time spent designing and building a program and time spent with the client and all that kind of stuff. Like, but there are people out there, like if you were to come in the same kind of scenario, right? You were to come in the store and be like, hey, like I need help. Like it's for me to be like, oh, well, sorry, you got to pay for it. Like, don't be a fucking ass. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like help people. I do this to help people. Right.
Yeah.
And he knows like we're in a situation where, and he's asked me for help with nutrition and kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to give you as much as I can give you. We're at the point now where I got to write your program. There needs to be a transaction. And he knows that. Right. And I'm very honest and upfront. And I don't mind doing that and I don't mind being brutally honest and upfront like that because I do give away things for free because it's I'm not giving you everything. I'm just, I'm helping you along your journey.
Yeah.
But you have you have a good, like you have the same idea that I've always had when it came to martial arts, because people forget when you are a trainer, whatever you want to call yourself, you are the product. Mm-hmm. And I've always believed in if you teach well and you do it with a giving heart, it's going to come back to you.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no reason for me to be like, I'm going to gatekeep all of these things.
Yeah.
Because all I'm doing is shutting the door.
Yeah.
Crazy. I had somebody do that to me on Instagram.
Like, what?
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna name names or anything, but I don't remember. It wasn't too long ago. I guess maybe a year or two, maybe about 2 years ago. Anyway, I sent this message to this person who was thoroughly proficient in what they do, right? And not that we were friends, but we knew each other. Yeah, we're acquaintances. And I sent them a little video, and I was like, "Hey, do you mind like checking this out? Like, I've analyzed it to the nth degree, and I don't see it. Even I don't I don't know everything, right? When I see stuff, but especially when it comes to yourself, sometimes you're blind. So I send him this video, and he responds with his price list.
What the heck?
Yeah, and I'm like, and I messaged him. I'm like, really? All power to you. Good luck.
Bro, you could kick rocks and open to
Dude,
yeah,
unreal, man. I can't. Like, I was so offended in my industry that somebody would do that, because I know if he's doing that to me, he's doing that to other people.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think, and I'm sure we have all had that experience to where you've seen those trainers or those people in the gym to where they're going to be tunnel vision on themselves and they will completely bypass, even their own clients. If I mean,
you're not paying for this time with me.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to give you any.
Yeah,
what, dude? Be nice.
Yeah,
It takes this much.
It takes
it's not a big deal.
Little to no effort.
Yeah.
Just being observant.
Yeah.
And somebody saying, "Hey, try this," or "Hey, you're doing this. Let's make this a little correction." You'll see the result.
Yeah. And sorry.
No, I was gonna say, and I've seen him do that numerous times.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what's the difference between a trainer and an actual coach?
I love this question.
Because
do you want to tackle that one?
Because you've explained it to me
go for
before.
it.
No? Okay. All right. Huge difference. A trainer is someone that's going to walk you through the paces and tell you how to do this, tell you how to do something and do it. That's it. That's all a trainer is going to do. A coach is going to be someone who is in the trenches with you. It's someone who is going to modify things for you. It's communication. There's feedback. There's empathy. There's a growth that's occurring together, right? I don't require my clients to just go do things. I require them to grow with me because I'm growing with them. I'm learning. I'm with them in this journey. And every single person that I work with, again, I don't know everything. Every single person that I work with, I'm learning from them, right? So it's an equal exchange. The transaction occurs from the time and the transfer of my knowledge to them, but there's an equal exchange of what I'm looking for and whatever it is that they're doing that I'm learning from as well. And that's the difference. Like a trainer, anybody can be a trainer. Yeah. Anybody can be a trainer. Like you know how
we've seen
it.
Huh? And we've seen it.
Yeah.
Anybody can be a trainer.
Yeah, and it's trainers. I've seen trainers sit back and they're on their phones and they're just doing whatever. Like, oh, looks good. It reminds me of was it Happy Gilmore where he's going through the golf magazine?
Yeah.
They're like, it's all in the hips, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like that. Like that's a trainer. But the second that he got with Adam Sandler, right, he became his coach.
Yeah.
And there was a relationship there.
Yeah.
A coach and client relationship to me is sacred.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to tongue trainer. Trainer.
Dude.
Throwing up the air quotes.
Trainer. Some of these people.
I mean, I've experienced it, and I know several other people have, to where those trainers, where they'll get the same program and they'll just mass send it out to people.
Oh, God.
And then when it's not working for them, and you're like, I'm not seeing results. You're not working hard enough.
Yeah,
or you're not X, Y, and Z. It's like, maybe it's because what I'm using isn't meant for me.
Yeah, or it doesn't actually fit the goal you have. Because everyone has different goals, and you should be writing programming and recovery and nutrition protocols based on what their goal is. I have never once. I'm going to be very careful here. Let me think. Yeah, I can honestly say I have never once written the same program, ever.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
One thing that I liked about with your programming and your coaching is that he's wanting constant feedback. Like clockwork, every Monday morning.
Yeah.
Where are my questions? Asking, how did I feel? What am I getting my sleep? Am I eating on time? Just a whole list of questions to where he's like, okay, this is something we need to change. We need to, reduce this. We need to increase this. That is probably one of the few coaches that I've ever had that's done that.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I think I've had maybe one other coach that's done that.
Yeah, and that was just nutrition. Like the training is even deeper. Like, I've kind of been your unofficial coach as well. But I mean, I say that because like we're training partners. Yeah. So it's a little bit different. Yeah. But like it's my programming and all that. Yeah. And it's like I'm on your ass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you have to be.
Yeah, and well, I mean, when you're training with somebody, when you're not just on a coach, but even training partners, you want them to be like, no, bitch, you do that again.
Accountability.
Yeah, I mean the act or the lack of accountability by a lot of these trainers and even some training partners is pretty rampant that I've seen. What's great is when you find that training partner, when you find that coach is going to sit there and call you out, going, "That wasn't a full rep," or or nope. He's laughing because he's done that. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
I feel personally attacked by that one.
But the thing is though is that yes, but no, it's not an attack.
Yeah.
It's I like being called out. But he'll know when it's not proper form or if it's just I'm on the verge of being gassed out.
Yeah,
and when it's being gassed out, he's sitting there going, all right, try to go, all right, nope, call it, we're done.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got me. He's got me one time.
Me and Cody have done sessions together, and like I am, if not anything, I'm consistent.
Oh, agreed.
I remember we did squats.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I was struggling, and I was like, because the way my body moves is because martial arts teaches me to do it a certain way.
Right. Yeah.
And we did squats. This motherfucker no rep me many times, and finally he goes, one. Yeah. He's like, you got it. Now you can stop. I was like, what was the point of that? Oh yeah. But he was able to go, you did it wrong so many times. Oh yeah. And then you did it once right. What did you feel? I would never forget that.
I remember we were doing we were doing fly work. It was doing standing fly work on the
with the cables.
Yeah, the cable machine.
Yeah, that was,
and I'm sitting there and he's like, nope, drop that shoulder. Nope, drop that shoulder. Yeah. I must have heard that 20 times. Yeah. And I've repped out about 25 and he goes, 3. And I'm like,
keep going.
Yeah. I think I hit 4 and he goes, all right, you're done.
Yeah, you're gassed.
Yeah, you're done.
No,
I'm sitting there just cussing him out too.
If you're gonna,
and he's laughing the entire time.
Well, yeah, because you're being a bitch about it. Like, if you're gonna do something, do it right. Like I will work with you like to the ends of the earth to make sure like you understand what needs to happen, right? Oh yeah. If you don't do that, I ain't counting it. No. It's not proper. If it's not proper, it's not proper. We're starting over.
Oh yeah.
When what was it? It was Bree and I. We came in. We were doing legs. We were doing lunges.
Oh yeah.
And my legs finally gave out. Yeah. Which was crazy. I was like, I got this. My legs hit. He goes, get up.
You got.
And I was like,
still got 5 feet.
I was like, wait a second. My legs are not agreeing with my brain. And he goes, get the fuck up. I was like, my brain is still not braining. It's just all of a sudden I see this. Hold that thought. Looks at me, tell her, take a break. And he starts coming over to me, and I was like, no.
Oh, yeah, he got up.
I got up and kept going. I was like, he's about to pick me up like a toddler. And this is cute.
Yep. Yeah, dude. And I can't remember if it was like you or his fiance's name is Bree. It was you or Bree that I was, it was on the leg extensions. Was that you or was that her? Do you remember? Where like, oh, that's all I got. I was like, no, you got 10 more. Go.
It's probably both of us.
That could have been me.
God, it's like these people, like, God, you people.
And then we made him even more mad because when we were done, me and her just jumping around. He goes,
yeah, I didn't work hard enough.
He's like, this recovery time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was so bad. He probably was like, go back and do it more.
Yeah, I made him run after that.
Then I almost threw up. I had a thick shirt on under, and then finally I just took it off and I was like, I feel good now. It's okay.
I made you almost throw up a couple times.
Oh yeah. He was like,
it's fine.
Dead.
Yeah. What do I say?
Oh, yeah.
You told me it's fine. I was like, and Bree goes, just throw up.
Yeah. Nope. You sit there chewing it back.
I was like, I can take it. I can take it.
Funny.
Oh my God.
When I got home, that was a different ball game though.
Oh
no. Yeah. You trained with me. I think I may have sent you that meme. It was like you train like if you're gonna come and you're gonna train with me, it's bro. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
No.
We're going. But I don't push anyone harder than I push myself.
No.
I won't do that.
No. I have actively fallen asleep after working out with him. I mean, I've sat down on the couch,
Just pass out.
and just go, ugh, and just be out for like 45 minutes, and I'll wake up and be like, what the hell?
Yeah. But and also another thing, I don't push to failure either. Like I push properly, but it's never to the point where it's never to the point where you can't do just a little bit more. But I stop you right there. I don't
know. It's felt like a couple times where he felt like
you had more. You had more in you.
Yeah, I remember he slapped me one time. He slapped my legs. Let me rephrase that. He slapped my legs. So I was like, I can't. And he goes smack, and I was like, woo.
Yeah, the leg extensions.
The leg extensions.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
I do that to him
yeah.
too.
I walk up, and he goes, whack, and my leg just went, bing. And he goes, there's one. And I was like,
Man.
I'm like, my hands don't do that.
You got more. You got more.
I'm sitting there punching my own leg, and it's just going,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. Nah, dude, because I do that to. If you ever, again, I never do anything I'm not willing to do it myself.
I've watched you punch your own leg.
Yeah,
before.
if I'm doing leg extensions, I go pretty heavy. I do single leg. Normally I do single leg time. I go pretty heavy, and you'll see me in the gym, and you'll hear me, and I'll be upset, and I'll whack, trying to slap my legs into submission, and I got 3 or 4 more reps.
All the random weird noises you might hear in the gym.
Oh, God. Have you talked about that before?
God.
Like my belching. Have you heard me belch?
I have, and I was like, what is this?
You had it. He called it something funny. It was like the call of the wild.
Oh my God.
I think one time I heard you doing leg
air,
extensions
man.
and just heard, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
you okay?
Yeah.
The best one was we were, I think we just got done doing hack squats. And he was like, let me check, just do like a manipulation. You're just checking on this.
Just check.
Yeah, just to check.
I'm like, because I see when I see things,
He wants to touch
I'm
it.
so anal. When I see things that are a little bit off, I'm
Poor
like,
choice of words that he's saying is he's about to just make a move.
oh yeah, with my thumbs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when I see something off and it's consistent, and like I'm coaching you on how to fix it, and you're just not, or you can't, like, all right, let's check it out.
Yeah. So he starts, checking the hip flexors and stuff, and he goes, it looked like he just went, dude, like that. I'm just screaming, and this poor little couple, they were like in their like 20s.
Weren't they new?
They were new to
their
the gym,
first
and they were like,
time at the gym.
oh my God, what are you doing?
2 grown men like digging my thumbs.
He's just sitting there, just like, and he's laughing the entire time.
funny.
I'm screaming, just pounding the floor. A couple of the trainers are just kind of like walking by, like nothing's going on. This couple
that's
is just
just
like,
Andrew.
oh my God, what are you doing?
Welcome to our gym.
Hi, welcome. Do you have any questions?
Have I done it? Oh no, I did it at the store. Yeah.
He thinks it's funny.
Oh, I know he does.
Because I went from pain to laughing. He goes, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I'm ticklish. He's like, stop laughing. I'm like, I can't. I am ticklish. I am sorry.
No. I'm just sitting there going, I sound like, like a moose in heat at this point. And he's just like, you okay? I'm like, and he's like, he goes, dig into it. So what do I do? He'll push into it, lean into the pain. So I'm literally pushing my arm or whatever that he's working on into his hands. He's like, yeah, that'll do it. The whole time I'm like, I want to cry. Yeah. Looks like a bad excerpt from like an 80s action film.
So funny.
Screaming.
And he's like, oh, it's not that bad. I'm like, bro, I will take a strike to the face before I let you touch my muscle again.
Good luck.
So
Yeah.
fun. I tell you what, hey, you know what? I'll tell you what.
But it works.
Yeah,
It works. It 100% works.
Yeah.
I have a very, I feel like I say this a lot. I have a very particular set of skills. But I have a very specific approach to doing body manipulation and body work. And I have to schedule a session with someone I know that's going to work on me. And I will record it and send it to you guys and let you watch me writhe in pain. Because she, bless her heart, she knows, like, her and I have worked together before. And she knows that, like, bless her heart, dude. She's like, all of her body weight she'll put into her elbows and knees and stuff and just dig it in. And I'm like, more, deeper.
Dude, is it warm in here?
Yeah, it's a little warm.
Check something.
I thought it was just me. I thought it was I was excited.
Warm.
It was the caffeine. It's kicked in. I'm good. I feel good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, go unpack. Okay, so the martial arts thing.
73 in here.
I mean, it
Feels
feels
warm.
it's a little warm. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So the martial arts. You're currently in the process of building your client base, building up new clients. How you have a very niche approach, right?
Right.
How are you finding those clients? What are you doing? Like mine is a little more broad, and it's hard enough as it is. How are you doing that?
So the cool part is since I was at that school for so long, a lot of people know who I am around the area. So it's a lot of word of mouth, but I don't mind. I'll go knock on, I'll go to businesses. Hey, do you want to do a free self-defense seminar?
Oh, okay.
Because
nice.
it don't cost me anything. B, it's fun.
Yeah.
I get to do, to me, giving a free self-defense seminar is like community service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you go out and you do right by people. And again, it turns out they go,
right.
I really like what you do.
Yeah, right.
And,
And the fact that they showed up, it's already step one. Like, there's interest there.
And that's what...
Dude, I like that. That's what's up. Yeah.
And that's what I kind of end up doing. Or somebody would go, oh, I know a guy. Mm-hmm. So,
How much of that do you get? How much of the word of mouth stuff do you get?
a lot.
Really?
Nice.
Nice, dude. That's what's up.
So
I've
now-
seen you people.
So now, are you working out of a dojo? Do you go to them?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
So right now where, when I do some of the training, I use my apartment gym. So I am
Okay.
blessed that they're just like, go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, use it, which is crazy. When they do tours, they go, oh, yeah, I'll be in there. I'll wave at everybody. And they're like, this is our resident trainer.
Nice.
So I'm like, bet.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right there. So a lot of people do that. And then just, I'll post videos here and there.
Yeah.
I'll put on my Facebook. People will repost. One of the parents, particularly I work with, you've seen him, John, I work with all of the time. His mom has been a super big advocate for me, especially.
That's awesome.
Especially when it comes to, special needs and stuff like that.
Right, yes.
I've learned so much from her.
Okay.
Along with having a little sister who has Down syndrome. Love my little demon.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
great.
Oh, she is so sweet.
They are every single person of Down syndrome that I have ever met have been the most loving, sweet, most just caring people in the planet. And my wife's just a little tangent. My wife's best friend is the president of the Friendship of Down Syndrome or the Friends of Down Syndrome school here in Houston area. So she runs the whole program. There's tons of people there for teaching adults with Down syndrome how to function, how to live a life, and how to survive on their own and stuff. It's badass. It's awesome.
Nice.
But anyway, they are just they're just incredible human beings. It's amazing. It's amazing. I wish I had that. I'm a loving guy, and I love hard, like what they were saying. I wish I had as much love in my heart as those people do. It's incredible.
But she will 100% tell you if she don't like you, or if we're in the same place, she'll be like,
Good.
she'll be like, Koki. Yes.
Koki?
Yes.
That's
so
great.
she cannot say, it's not fair. She can say Courtney, cannot say Cody.
Interesting.
If we break it down and say Co, she'll say Co, D, say it in full, Koki.
So funny. So
Which is,
funny.
I love it, but she'll tell you if she don't like you,
That's so funny.
beat him up. I'm not your personal bodyguard. And
How old is she?
she is now 13.
Oh, that's so funny.
So
awesome.
I've been around since she was a potato.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
But as far as I've learned a lot with her, and I found out I have a really soft spot. I had to grow up a lot of growing up to do. I've had people look at her sideways, and my first instinct is,
Ooh.
what you looking at? And I'm depending on what you say,
Right.
depends on what's gonna come out of my
Yeah,
mouth.
man.
Right.
Dude.
Yeah.
Because I just,
Well, yeah.
I can't.
Amp up, man.
Yeah.
Dude, 100%.
But now I'm just kind of forgive them. They're a little dumb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah.
You're a bigger man than me.
I try to.
I get so upset.
Well, yeah, I have to try to be the bigger
Yeah.
person because I don't want to end up next to Diddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just want to go to prison.
Yeah, I think the fact that you've had so much more experience with it has led you to be able to do that. And maybe I don't have as much experience, so I just immediately get angry. I don't know how to do it.
But
Well.
but it's not. It's learned.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from her on how to deal with kids with disabilities. Like some of them, like people don't realize, some of them are quick to anger. It could go from a loving child to them wanting to smack you real quick.
Yeah, and you got 2 of them, I think, right? That are like that.
I have one.
Okay,
So
we'll get into that in a second because I really want to dive into that.
So you have that, and then you have some of them that don't like to be touched. Mm-hmm. So when I worked which is really hilarious, when I worked at the martial arts school, when I went from the Conroe location to the Woodlands location, I started looking, I'm like, I got all of these kids. And I started sitting down, and I'm like, that one has something going on.
Yeah.
This one has something going on. This one has something going on. And I've had many times where I'm like, I'll tell one of the other, like my assistant instructors, I need you to take over for a minute. I'm gonna go just step off the floor, and I'll go sit in the office, and I'm like, I had the why me moment, and the mom saw I had a why me moment. And what kind of triggered a lot of it, she walked in the office. Walked in and was like, she's like, you okay? I'm like, mm-hmm. She goes, you overwhelmed? Uh-huh. Want to go walk into traffic?
Maybe.
Just a little bit. She goes, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't understand why I keep getting these kids.
Yeah.
I don't, and I'm not saying I don't want them, but it's so much for me to try
Right,
to.
it's a lot.
It's a lot trying to manage.
Yeah. That's your test, though.
Right. And she
That's
goes,
good.
the only reason why he's like, the reason why you are getting them, because you're the only one who can do it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And then
100%.
And she slowly, every time if I had questions, she'd be like, try this.
Yeah.
So now there's kids who never wanted to be touched.
Yeah.
You know, because someone, it just triggers them.
Yeah.
They'll run up to me and give me a hug.
Oh, that's awesome.
that's awesome.
Or,
I
you know,
love that.
Yeah.
they might have an issue with another instructor, and I can walk in the room and go, would you treat me like that?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah.
You treat them as you treat me. Yes,
Nice,
sir.
nice,
And
nice.
then it just clicked. So I was
Yeah.
like, my love for just teaching.
Yeah.
Going, because just like them, they deserve a chance.
Yeah.
But the one thing you can't do is, hopefully this does not come out wrong, don't treat them as if they're special.
Correct.
Right.
No.
No, you treat them as
You know, I just,
absolutely didn't come off right. 100% right.
Yeah.
so, and I treat them as like how I would.
It's hard.
so
It's
cute.
so hard to do. It's
so hard not to laugh.
be affected by it.
She's,
love it.
she's
Yeah.
squeaking
Oh, yeah.
again. She's so cute.
And you treat them like that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and it was
Treat 'em like a
easy.
human. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just easy.
person.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the crazy part is, I'll tell everybody, they try harder than the kid who has nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
Once they get it,
Right.
yeah. Once you can reach them at their level. So I in all my years of doing this, I only have one experience. You have so many. I have one, and I found that once I could reach him, he gave me gold. He gave me everything, more than most other clients that I deal with. It was amazing. It was
Right.
amazing.
because you learn about like midline crossover. Some people have, you know, like directional issues. It might be a balance issue.
Yeah.
The real challenge is, as a coach, can you adapt to teaching the same thing multiple ways? And I've watched a lot of coaches go, which is really interesting because I use my martial arts for a standpoint to teach this. They'll go, punch this. And I've seen kids like, I'm like, we're not fishing.
Yeah.
They don't give a reason why. What is your reasoning?
Yeah.
So-
you gotta understand. So let's kind of go back. You were working in the martial arts school,
Yes.
and it just kind of kept coming to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So from there, because my dad always was like, you should do something with this. You've been doing it for years. You've been in and out. Even when I stopped taking official classes, I'd be in the backyard practicing.
Yeah.
All the time. Practice.
Yeah.
So eventually, like I said, went to the schools, worked at a few, got released from a few, not fired.
Yeah,
Just
but
got
I mean,
let
the
go.
special needs, right? Like
yeah.
you were at the dojos, and they were just
They're just-
happening.
Right.
They just kept coming to you.
So like I've had kids who would, again, like emotional intelligence
Yeah.
doesn't bear
Yeah.
sometimes. Like
Right.
one of them in particularly, love him to death. I've actually had him, we were in a gym at one point in time and he saw me talking to a guy. This made me kind of understand when when you're their human. You are their person.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
So I didn't understand that until that day.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
about to lift. He was about to, start bench pressing.
Okay.
We were just chatting. Hey man, how you? Whatever. And whatever it was, it set him off.
All right. Yeah. Triggered
So
him.
he hopped under the bench press and just flung up the weight, and it just flipped it. And all I saw was this.
Yeah.
So I turned around and caught it and flipped it and was like, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he swung at me for the first time.
Oh, he swung at you. Yeah.
And I was like,
Did he connect?
no.
Oh, good.
But when he swung at me,
Was this an adult or was this a kid?
he's an adult. Well, he's an adult now.
Okay.
So he was like,
At that point.
yeah, so he was.
Like a teenager?
So, yeah, he was 17.
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
he
he-
could, if he could,
yeah,
like,
it would've connected,
if he
it
wanted
would've-
to, he
Oh,
could
he's
do some
strong.
damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
Oh, he's strong.
Got it.
Yeah.
So he did it and swung at me. And, as an instructor, and still as a human being, sometimes you do forget where you're like, your brain will kick and you go right.
Yeah,
into,
fight or
like,
flight, yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
self-defense mode. And I'm
Right.
like,
Especially someone with martial arts background, like it's instinctive.
Yeah.
so luckily, I just remember, I'm like, this is still a kid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what he remembers was, as soon as he punched, I popped his hand and went right under where his hand was here, went like this, and hugged him and just fell to the floor.
Okay, yeah.
And while he's sitting
You
there
subdued him,
flailing,
yeah.
and I'm just
Yeah.
like, stop.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm like, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then later on, his mom explained, was like, you did it. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. Because in my mind, I was like, I felt like I
Yeah,
just
I wouldn't.
did the wrong
I wouldn't
thing.
know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
to do.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it was what made him calm down. She's like, some people feel good when you have like that weighted blanket.
The pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was
yeah,
gonna say. Yeah,
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I got all day. I was at work and I'm so sorry. I'm, like it was like
Yeah.
8 hours of I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm like,
yeah,
it is
yeah.
okay. You're still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that one incident, he's to a point now where if he gets frustrated, he gets overwhelmed, he'll look at me
Yeah.
and he'll go ahead.
Okay.
And he'll just go walk on the treadmill. He's like, I just need a minute.
Did you coach him to do that, or did it? Y'all just kind of intuitively figure that out that works?
So whenever I was teaching at the school, I always told them, if you get frustrated, because it does happen,
Yeah.
take a step back.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
I would never, if you need to just bow off the mat for a minute, go get some water, go to the bathroom, come
yeah.
back, because it's just a lot of this.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I am fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of his thing where
Okay.
he was so used to being on the mat, it
Yeah.
was always let me back off. I'm
Okay.
like, we're not in a traditional school. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
Yeah, but he still needs that process.
right, he
Yeah.
needs that process, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So, and then that's where you come into, especially when like everybody else, I've learned a lot of the things we don't do as adults who don't even have disabilities or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We don't even give ourselves grace.
No,
No.
dude. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad. Yeah, we're absolutely. Let's get into that.
And it's weird because
I don't.
you've called me out on it before.
I know, and I call a lot of people out, and I don't always do it for myself. You're old in a China cabinet.
Hopefully it's not the expensive model.
Oh, no.
No.
It's
Yeah.
vermouth.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I call you out. I've called him out. I've called clients out, and I don't always call myself out.
And it's-
No, well, because
I
we're usually
don't.
our own worst critic.
And I'm so dude. I'm so glad you said that. So how does that? And I'll share like how it is for me, but how does that present itself for you?
So, depending on what aspect we're talking about, are we talking about strictly in the self-defense aspect or in both?
The whichever is the most negatively impactful.
I'd say they're equally both.
Okay.
So what
whichever
happens
one you
is,
want for them.
if I correct you, right, and you're like, I don't get it, I just can't get it, that's okay.
Yeah.
Why do you talk to yourself in such a way
Yeah.
to make you believe what you're saying?
Yeah.
So
that you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't kick as high as you. I can't do this
Yeah.
because you're not me, and I also have done it for years.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the idea is give yourself grace because you are learning.
Yeah.
So if you go, well, my main issues I see is I don't look like somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm garbage.
Yeah.
Or it's just hard.
Yeah.
Cool. I want it to be hard.
Yeah.
Because if you're not struggling,
Yeah.
you're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we want a little bit of struggle.
Of course, that's
Well,
what
yeah,
makes
that's
you
how you grow,
change. That's how you
yeah.
grow. But I mean, like for you though,
For me personally.
Yeah, I meant
Yeah, yeah.
for you personally.
Oh, I am not a compliment person.
Yeah,
I
you
do not. I do not take compliments well, and it's not to say that I
Yeah.
don't appreciate them.
You don't know how to
Funny
react
that
to
you're saying
it.
this.
Right. So he's like, you look so much bigger, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like trash.
We
See,
have
and
talked about
when
this
you said
so
that to
much.
me, that's how I felt.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
awkward.
like,
awkward.
I don't know how to react.
Yeah,
Right.
The
Yeah,
the first thing Cody said when he came in to Corey was like, "Dude, you look big. You look good."
Yeah, and I'm like,
Corey's like,
Sure.
yeah, I'm like, no. I'm
all
like,
three of the men sitting here in front of you do not.
body dysmorphia like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the three that you stood out, the three that you mentioned, you don't look like somebody, right?
Right.
You don't like you tell yourself that you can't. Essentially, is like what you,
Yeah.
what you said. What was the other one?
So that's more for. Sorry, let me rephrase that. That's more from a client stance.
Okay.
Right.
So for
So
you.
so like for me, I
Yeah.
would tell you, I don't handle compliments well, but that's because over the years, when you're a martial arts instructor, some people make you think you're a show pony.
Yeah.
And very much don't like being the center of attention sometimes, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my attention comes from if my students look good and they are happy and they're doing what they're supposed to, I did my job because
Got it.
I've
Yeah.
impacted your life positively.
Got it.
Right.
The other thing for me is like the other struggle I'll have is, especially when I was gaining weight, I don't move the way I used to move when I was 30, like when I was 130 pounds.
Yeah, of
And I'm
course,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. It makes no sense. Why am I not moving like this?
Yeah.
You gotta train it, man.
Yeah.
So in the way that kind of just feeds into stuff, and then I'm overly hard on myself when
Oh, yeah.
here's my goal, and then I get to right here, and then I'm like, I fall short, and I'll get frustrated with myself because I'm very much of, why am I going to tell you you have to do something, and then you turn around and look at me and go, well, you don't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
because I am the product, and I have to lead by example.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like how my dad did, like how our fathers do for
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
They showed us what we need to do to be men.
Yeah.
Same thing. We're coaches. We have to show them what it's like, to
Right.
live the lifestyle. I can't do random stuff and then you look at me and go, but you do it.
Yeah.
So I set that bad example.
Yeah.
And I've always been like that.
So you're constantly self-aware of like trying to be perfect. Yeah. You can't do that, bro.
Right. But now I can say this. I am perfect. And the reason why I say perfect, now hold on before you clap me with this one. I was waiting for it.
No.
I wasn't going to.
I felt it though.
I had a response, but continue.
I am perfectly, no, I am imperfectly perfect.
Yeah.
You are perfectly imperfect.
Perfect.
Or
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, yeah.
That one, whatever it
Scratch
is.
that, reverse it.
Yeah, reverse it. Because I have accepted the flaws.
Yeah.
I will never be this 100%
Yeah.
graceful thing that I want to be.
You're
But at the
pretty
same
graceful, bro.
time,
Pretty graceful.
I am, because I've learned that I'm only as strong as my weaknesses. Once I learn
Yeah.
what my weaknesses
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can improve. I can manipulate.
Yes.
Right.
And
And
that's
that
okay.
Yeah.
list for a lot of people think that list is really long. The list of what you're actually not good at is actually shorter in most cases than what you are good at. So it's easier to identify. I'm not saying focus on the negative. What I'm saying is like identify where you need to have work in a positive way by saying, okay, this is how I can improve.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just level
Yeah.
it out. If my right arm is stronger, that means I just got to work my left arm a little bit harder.
Yeah, we know how you can do that.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to do that.
Oh, yes, there are.
Well,
There's a preferred way, but
Sorry, I went there.
gotta use both either way.
Yeah. Switch hitter. Yep.
Danger,
that
danger.
could be taking a whole different meaning right
Yeah.
there.
I was talking about deadlift.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I can't do that, man. I don't do that.
But you do
I
do
am
it.
for myself.
You do, because I've
Do
seen
I?
it. Because when
I'm
we
so
have
hard on
conversations,
myself.
that's how I learn a lot from you.
Aw.
Because you'll look at, like, you'll show me videos and go, see that? This is where I messed up at. This is how I can fix it.
Yeah.
You do it in your own way.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you've, like how you talk about when you post up videos where people only post up on their lifts, the only successful lifts.
Yeah.
And that you are going
Yeah.
out there and you're showing
The failure.
the failures
Yeah.
or, the missed opportunity or the missed lifts.
Yeah.
And you're out there posting it and going, I want people to be able to see that not everybody, that people aren't always perfect.
Legs hurt so bad.
But I mean, like, what does fail really mean?
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, I can do that for others. In myself, I'm so, like, here's the reason why I post those failures. Like, they're not really failures, right? They're just steps. It's just missteps in my journey.
Yeah.
Right. However you want to say it. We'll call them failures for the sake of conversation.
Right.
One reason why I post them is because it's my own training, because it's so uncomfortable for me, because it's hard for me to do, right? Because it's the sense of inadequacy. It's a feeling like, and I know logically that that's not true, and I have to fight that. And in fighting that, that's where I do the post. So it's very hard for me. It's very hard for me, but I do it anyway.
Right. So let's go back to fail. What does fail really mean?
Yeah.
What do you like?
Yeah, you don't keep going. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not gonna say you don't keep going. If you had to pick out how the spelling of it, what words would you put for each letter? So I would say first attempt in learning.
Okay.
Because the only time you truly fail is when you go, I quit.
You quit. That's what I mean.
exactly.
You don't
Yeah,
keep going. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So and when I mean quit, it's not that you don't keep going that day. It's when you just hang up your towel and you're just like, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
And you refuse to do that.
I refuse to do that to my own detriment, because there is a point where you should say enough is enough, but I'm getting kind of emotional. I'm so against being that way, because it's a lot of it's based on like my upbringing and my family and certain situations that I've been in. I'm so against being a failure, even if it's saying, okay, like I'm done today, right? I'm so against doing that I go too hard.
And then what happens?
I get hurt. And that's why we talk about it all the time. Like, I'm so good at hurting myself.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Why are you limping today? Oh, nothing.
Yeah,
What'd you do?
Don't ask. It's something new, right? But I'm learning. Okay, so, and this is a kind of a good just a real quick segue. Sorry, I will.
No, you're fine.
Get right back to it. I got a coach, right? So I now have a coach who is gonna help me do that.
For like a second, I was like, who? Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah, you know. And I got a coach that's gonna help me do that. And part of having a coach is trusting, right? Is trusting them. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty good at doing that, right? But it's still a scary thing when they say, okay, stop. Yeah. You're done. And I'm like, I've got so much more in me. Or to the other part of that, it's like, oh, you still have some more. I'm so bad at this that if it's on the program, it's getting done.
Yeah.
It's on the program. There's no other choice. Yeah. I don't have a choice. There are some times when you should stop.
Yeah.
Even if it's on the program.
Call it. Yeah.
And I need help. I need help with that, and my coach is helping me do that. So not all coaches and not all situations are the same. Everyone needs something different, right? And you need to communicate with your coach like what your needs are, and if they can't meet them and they just give you some bullshit, then they're a trainer. If they work with you and they help you, then they're a real coach.
Oh, good.
It's just first weekend. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So anyway, sorry.
I mean, and then you're not wrong, because if we look at it and we're honest about it, doctors have doctors, coaches have coaches, athletic trainers have athletic trainers, because I think it eliminates your bias, because you'll look at yourself and go, oh, I got this. Oh, I could have did this. Yeah. Somebody goes,
yes, 100%.
They go, no,
100%.
try again.
Well,
100%.
yeah, I mean, sometimes you need that second set of eyes.
Yeah,
and it's awesome,
really
and I can't help but be happy for you.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Because it's going to make your life easier.
Yeah.
And I can say that because even so, Bree, when I taught at the martial arts school, when I was like, I got to go to tournaments. I hate going to tournaments. Because
Really?
there's
So good.
There's a reason why I hate tournaments.
Because they're all bitches.
That I've been
I stubbed my toe.
I've been red flagged for kicking too hard. Granted,
So dumb.
whenever my opponent is 100 pounds more than me and like 6'3", I kick too hard.
That's the objective.
Secondly,
Okay.
I have to keep my mouth closed.
Yeah.
Back then, I can only say positive things. I can't go, keep your hands up. They're like, hey, shut up.
That's so dumb.
You can
Really?
do it. I'm like,
No,
Oh.
dude. That's not. No. Give everyone a trophy.
Yeah,
Just
my-
let everyone go home at that
Not
point.
my coach.
Oh,
My
you
coach-
showed up? Here's a trophy. Go home. Like,
Yeah.
so stupid.
my coach was cold.
Good.
He came back from the military to train me for the one tournament where I wanted to win
Yeah.
the big 6-foot trophy for sparring.
Dude, nice.
And I heard,
What's
if you drop your hands, I'm going to beat you when you get home.
up? Gotcha.
If you lose, you're walking back.
Wow.
I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
That's lacking nowadays.
but that's true. But then everybody gets upset when you are very bold about how you feel.
Yeah, and again,
I
that's
just don't
why
care
I'm
anymore.
appreciative of somebody going, no, that looked like shit. Do it again.
Right.
With love.
Yeah.
So
of
like,
course.
so like what you said with having somebody to help you manage stuff. So since I had to deal with all the little kids.
Yeah.
What Brie would do is when I would go to the gym, I just like, why am I here? Like I would go blank. So it was like me walking to, it's like ADHD brain walks in.
Bro.
I just, where's my keys?
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
in my hand.
Oh yeah.
That's what happened
Dude,
to me.
welcome
I've done that. Yeah.
every second of my life.
So what she would do is,
I did that earlier. We came in here. I was like, he's like, what's wrong? I'm like,
No, it's like, all right, what'd you forget? I don't know.
I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
so she did all of my programming.
Yeah, okay.
So she was like, you're going to do legs today. Today is your leg day. What am I supposed to be doing with legs?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like, just follow me.
Yeah.
Do what
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all right. And that's kind of how I got through
Yeah.
Good.
until I can grow up a little bit and was like, I have to actually do something.
Yeah.
Like, I got to,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like I can set the example in a ring.
Yeah.
Because that's the other part of martial arts that people don't think about. You see me in the school and you see this guy and you're like, he has no problems. There's nothing
dude.
like they do. Like kids will think you are a superhero,
Oh,
yeah,
it's interesting
that.
you say that. Yeah.
which is really.
Bizarre.
But kids will think you're a superhero, and then sometimes we all forget you will take it to heart because you don't want to disappoint.
Right.
So you don't let
Yeah.
them see you break.
Yeah.
You don't let, and then but then that turns into another problem.
Yeah.
That turns into what you were talking about, where you're like, I gotta keep going, no matter if it breaks me or kills me or not.
Yeah.
And then you go, then it's too late. You're like,
Yeah.
there's an injury.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you're having a mental breakdown because you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you haven't smacked yourself in the head and going,
Yeah.
I'm not. So like, what did my friend call it? We were talking Spider-Man syndrome. Like it was a dumb thing that he just came up with. We were just talking where it's like, with great power comes great
responsibility.
responsibility.
Yeah.
And then you keep going,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
finally you just start crying.
Yeah,
Because you don't
yeah.
know what to do.
Yeah, you hit that wall. Yeah.
And then finally realizing
Yeah.
you got people to, like, you're not by yourself.
Yeah.
So when you need
Yeah.
to back off,
Yeah.
you have people to, I got you.
Yeah, you get that support system.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, yeah.
so awkward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's not enough talking about that support system. Like and I'm fully upfront. I'm an open book. I'm fully upfront and honest with not only with my coach, right, but with y'all too, right? It's important. It's important for us to have a support network. It's important for us to have people to rely on to help us reach our potential, to help us reach our goals that we have, right? Whether you
Yeah.
have a coach or not, if you need help, it doesn't matter what it is. Reach out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's always you always have a friend on the Bearcast. Reach out to us, whatever.
Yeah.
100%. You got a friend, in Cody.
Yep.
Reach out to him. Whatever. It's perfectly fine. I want to go back to the working with special needs kids because I find that absolutely fascinating. When you're working with people with special needs, you said I agree. Yes, you should treat them just as like any normal person, but at the same time, you can't. At least starting off,
right?
And you can't really communicate to them the intricacies,
right?
Because they're not going to. Some will. I'm speaking generalities here. It's not fair. Like some people will. This is what's called the spectrum.
Yeah,
right?
different functions.
Yeah,
different
right. So some people
functions.
understand, some people won't. How do you go about communicating that? How do you go about communicating what you expect? What do you expect them to do? How you expect them to act and behave and perform? Like
especially in a classroom setting.
Yeah.
So I tend to just start asking questions, and I show them. So, can you stand tall?
So you put it on them.
Right. Can you stand up tall? Can you stand like me?
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The moment I hear yeah, can you say yes, sir?
Oh, nice. Okay. So the training starts immediately.
Okay. Yes, sir. Can
Wonderful.
you say it louder? Yes, sir. So if dad tells you something or dad asks you a question, how should you respond to dad? Because dad's important. He's more important than me. He does way more for you than I do. Then they go, so if dad tells you, can you come here? What do you say? Yes, sir. Very good. Yeah. So I start just it's a game. Everything is a game.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
What if mom tells you something and she's a lady? What do you say? Yes, mom. Close.
Yeah.
Can you say yes, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So if dad calls you, what do you say? Yes, sir. If mom says something, yes, ma'am. What if I call you? Yes, sir. What about that coach? What if she says something? What do you say?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're like from very beginning. You're instilling You're instilling what you expect in a fun way, but it's almost like they're coming up with it themselves. You're not telling them.
Right.
You're letting them realize it themselves.
And the idea of a martial artist is as an instructor, I'm reinforcing what your parents have been teaching you. I know your parents have probably said, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Some parents are weird, especially the ones that are not from the South. They think it's awkward to be called ma'am or sir.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Understood that. Yeah.
But at the same time, it has to be vice versa. So if I tell your kid, stand up tall, answer tall. If you start talking to me and the kid starts going, hi, my name is so-and-so, and then I start, pick your head up, dude. What's up?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And they find it weird because, again, my boss thought it was awkward because she thought, there's a lot of schools. There's a script. There's a certain, I gotta be this.
Yeah.
I told her, let me be me, please.
Yeah.
And finally she was like, do whatever you need to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's really good that it comes natural to you.
Yeah.
Right. It does not come natural to me. But
it does. You do it.
Does it?
You do it. I watch you when people walk.
I've seen you walk.
No, you're good.
No, I mean, like when you train to the boys.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you were doing.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
No,
dude. That's your natural thing.
You were teaching them. You were helping them instill confidence, and you weren't commanding the respect. You were directing and helping them, I guess, realize how they should be addressing you or their parents. Yeah, no, I mean, because that's the thing that they were taught, but because of the bombardment of school or
and the internet,
YouTube, where simple things like yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm going past that.
But I know that. But you are helping them realize and re-engage those skills when you would coach.
I don't know. Every time I'm working, when I'm in this again, like there's a lot of self-actualization happening right now. When I'm working with people, I'm focusing. I'm just kind of I'm being me. I just kind of do.
Yeah,
right? I do, and I don't. I'll never go back on something, right? Unless I just made a mistake. But I don't go back and say like, I don't know how to word this properly. The point I'm trying to make is, as I'm going through conversations and talking with people and coaching people, I'm constantly like looking at the mistakes I'm making, right? Mm-hmm. Or like how I say things or how I do things, or like, oh, I should have approached it this other way or whatever. Like, and it's, I don't know, I'm just really hard on myself.
Well, most people are.
True. But even then, if you look at the way that you coach, it's a lot of similarities with that martial arts. So if you look at it, you got to look intrinsically too. So, right, you're teaching people self-value, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure,
you're teaching them confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
Love yourself.
Yeah.
It's have respect for yourself. Have respect for your body. The only difference is, the only difference is your standpoint is, all right, let's look like this, make sure your body's like this. I do the exact same thing, but here and there, you might hear me yell and scream a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, well, you heard that from me too.
I was gonna say I've heard that from you. I don't know how many times.
Like, which is weird. Like, I don't think you've ever yelled. You ever yelled at me? He'll say weird stuff to make me remember things. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do. I have some funny. Yeah, we talked about. I have some funny cues. I have some interesting cues. He knows about them.
Oh yeah. Butt wink.
Yeah.
Kiss the butthole.
Wait, kiss the butthole. Yeah. Put it in your butthole.
Put it in your butthole. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I will if you're. I've yelled at you before.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have.
Oh, I have.
And I probably started laughing.
But it's always
love.
like
It's love.
Yeah. It's out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to. Yeah. I don't know. I never get angry. I don't think.
I mean, I've heard you get frustrated before. But
Yeah.
Not to the point of like anger.
Yeah. No, it's never because I can always fix it. I used to get angry, but I've learned over the years of doing this that like at some point there's a solution, and it's just to your point, like learning how, like being part of being a good coach is learning how to communicate the exact same thing in so many different ways.
Yeah.
It's kind of that I know that we'll get there.
Yes.
Right? And I used to get angry, and it was never that I was getting angry at them. It was always yes, exactly. I was always angry at myself.
Yeah.
And I still kind of do that.
Yeah, I think you would. I mean, from watching you, I think you would get frustrated because you know how you want to verbalize what you're saying, and you can see it in your own head. I think your frustration comes from when you explain it, and you know the cues, and you know how you visualize it. Your frustration is that they can't see it the way that you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then back to your question about how to train them.
Yeah.
I play to their strengths.
Yeah.
So,
but they're all different.
Right, they're all different. But the goal of the exercise will always be the same.
Right. Yeah.
Is to, so for me, when it comes to newcomers in martial arts or self-defense, whatever you want to call it, my goal is when you initially get here is you know you can do it.
Okay.
So drove me nuts with little kids. And again, it was the parents. Because I taught 3-year-olds, pick your leg up and kick. I just want you to boop.
Yeah.
I don't care how you do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Or show me a punch.
Yeah.
I've had parents yell, punch with your right hand.
No, you didn't ask that.
And I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't specify.
and then I make this stupid face. And I'm looking at my boss and go, fix your face.
Yeah.
I'm like, your child is 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he can tell me, yes, sir. He can tell me what a stranger is. I
love that.
He can tell me who he can go run to if he's lost.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just basic stuff.
Right.
It is the same thing. If the kids are special needs, can you tell me what a stranger is? Can you do this?
Yeah.
Can you do this? Like, the fact that they're figuring out, like, I can actually throw a punch. I can throw a kick.
Yeah.
I can knee something.
Yeah.
If somebody grabs me, I can throw them on the floor. It may not be perfect,
Yeah.
But it's
but
all.
we build it. You got to build that up.
That's what I was gonna say. So
Like-
you literally start ground up, and you're like, you just keep building them up from doing the most simple things. All these trackers, all these like smart devices and stuff, they are all of them
off.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They are all of them notoriously inaccurate. All
Right.
of them. There's not a single one out there that's like that's
God no.
I talk to clients, and I'm like, okay, like what's your what's your calorie? Like what are you consuming? What's your calorie count? And they're like, oh well, and then they'll look at their smart device or whatever, and they're like, oh, I burned whatever many calories today. I was like, no, you didn't.
Yeah. No.
You absolutely did not.
You're about
They're like,
20%
oh, I did.
off.
Why? It shows I did 600 calories during my workout. I'm like, no.
Which is funny is the heart rate thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart rate is this, and I'm like, from when I was
dude,
trained.
don't get me started. Don't get me started on the heart rate and the different zones of heart. Ugh. Don't trust everything you see on the internet. Just go and train hard, eat right, train hard. If you need help, reach out to me.
Call somebody.
Call somebody. Good Lord.
Okay, I have to ask. What are you freaking out about the heart rate thing?
Because it's people put so much emphasis on that.
Oh, wait, you talking about where you're either
These fat burning zone, cardio zone, carb burning zone, fat burning.
Oh Jesus! No,
Shut up.
Just move. Just move.
Just go do something.
Yeah.
Get out and do something.
It's like, I maximized my workout because I was in the fat burning zone. I was like, no, you didn't. It doesn't mean anything. You didn't you're not building additional tissue. You're not, you right after your workout, you went to Jack in the Box. Like, shut up. No, you were not optimal.
Jack in the Box. God.
I just threw a name out.
I was just like, God, I didn't Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
I can't say nothing because Bree tells me fix my face a lot. I see people they walk into the gym, and I will immediately notice the oddball who's there for not the right reasons, and it drives me nuts. And I so bad want to be like, get the hell away from me.
So what do you mean?
Yeah.
So this happened, was with the client, working out, killing it, doing good. Finally, we hit a point where we're like, okay, water break.
Okay.
Like, I want to throw up a little bit because I overdid it. You sitting there looking at me like this because you haven't had enough water.
Yeah.
Girl comes in right there in front of us. Know what the first thing she does? Didn't warm up, didn't do nothing. Girl ain't even sweating. And she's like, I'm going to do RDLs right here.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, those, yeah.
And then she pulls out her camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, here you go.
Yeah. No, I'm all for it. I'm all for pulling your camera out, like at the gym. I do that, right? Especially if you have a coach, you should be filming everything.
Which is great. But
but don't be that person.
Right, don't be that person. I'm sorry you have some self-esteem issues.
Yeah, you need all that from the internet. Like,
now,
come on, man.
yeah. Now, what pisses me off is they set up their camera. They're doing whatever it is that they're doing.
And you look.
And if number one, I'm not saying that people gawk, but I mean, I've picked my head up and they're in the vicinity, but my position and the way my head needs to be
is right at your ass.
Right there, and I'm like,
get your ass out of my face.
Yeah.
It's not so much like quit looking at my ass. It's more like get your ass out of my face.
Yeah,
like,
or they're filming it to catch someone. Because they're wanting to blast somebody.
Dude.
And even, I mean, I've seen guys who have been called out.
Yeah.
You could see where their eye line is. They're not even in that direction.
And that's why we have Joey Soul.
I was about to say.
Joey Soul will be like, how dare you?
How dare you?
I'm
Yeah,
glad
that
you
dude,
said
I
that.
love that dude.
Huge shout out to Joey Swole. Thank God we have Joey Swole.
God, no kidding.
Dude, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and how he'll call people out. He's like, how are you going to get upset?
Yeah.
For them walking in a public gym, your camera just happens to be there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen if you're set up.
Yeah.
If you want it that bad, go build your own.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Go outside where there's nobody.
Yeah. I've been in situations where people are filming, they're in the way, and I just got fed. I didn't say anything. I just picked up the tripod.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it was actively recording or not. I didn't care. I just picked up the tripod and I moved it out of my way, and I kept doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything to me about it. Like, if you're gonna be in my way, we'll move you out of it.
Especially if we were there first and you decide to set up.
Even if you're not there first, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're taking up that much space, no, I don't care. Now, if you're filming and you're in your own space, there's no reason why I should go out of my way to get in your way.
Yeah.
Right.
But don't just be in my way to be in my way.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Agreed.
I felt bad about it today because I filmed some of my dumbbell work, and like I'm trying to get a particular angle of especially my left shoulder, and I'm kind of like back a bit, and I'm like, I felt so uncomfortable because I was taking up so much space. I hated it. I don't know how people do it like with a conscience. They don't give a shit.
Because
No,
please.
So then that turns into what are we in the gym for? Because are you in there for an intrinsic value or an extrinsic value?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Are we looking for personal growth, or are you looking for validation?
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of times people are in there for both.
Right.
But I mean, it's usually the people who are there and they're filming themselves 9 times out of 10. It's just because they're wanting the attention.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I like to. I preach this to people, and I originally started filming all of my stuff for accountability reasons.
Yeah.
So I would film all my workouts and I would post my workouts, again, going back to like showing the failures, showing like how I'm improving everything. Like I used it as my accountability factor,
Right.
in order to say, okay, here's where I started. Right? Here's how I'm progressing. Here's how I'm going. Because there's like, and I have a notepad that I write stuff down in. But when I'm putting it on the internet, right, I'm putting it on like Instagram, it's now out there. It's now forever, and I have a track record of like, okay, this is what happened with this workout, and like this is what's happened in the next workout, and I can actually use that to go back and have reference.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great tool. I think filming's a fantastic tool.
Right.
Super helpful.
Yeah, but you don't take you don't build a house with a chainsaw, right? Like it's the right tool for the right purpose.
Yeah.
Come in like the.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I build a door. Like, oh, okay.
With a chainsaw, yeah. Good luck. Yeah. No, it's good.
Cut the wood, I guess.
Yeah, I think we can call it there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What about you? Yeah. Did you have anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to get into? We can absolutely get into it.
I did have a few.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
Good. Go for it.
So questions would be like, how would you deal with? Because I have like certain questions. Because one of the questions I do ask my clients are, besides like, what are your goals? I specifically will ask you, are you here for an intrinsic value or an extrinsic value? Because like I find it really difficult sometimes to work with people who are, I'm here because I want to look like so and so I can have this kind of like life. And and I find it weird, and I struggle with those people because I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, you're not gonna look like,
Chris Bumstead.
I would love to be 6'4" and have that body frame. You know how cool I would be?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I think you're a cool guy. You're cool as it is.
I try.
Yeah.
I can hide in small places. It helps. I'm fun size.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so yeah, it's a really good question. I think it's a little aggressive to say like, are you here for an intrinsic or extrinsic value? Because people are not going to admit that they're trying to that they have ulterior motives than something that's impure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
People are so weird about that. If that was my like, I'd be honest with you, I'd be like, yeah, I want to look like this, but that's just the type of person I am.
Right.
So instead, my question to clients or potential clients is always, what's your journey?
Yeah.
What's the journey look like for you? And if they respond with something like, oh, I want to look like this, and they give me an example, that warrants a deeper conversation and saying why.
Why?
Okay.
Yeah. And other times, generally the responses I get, at least clients that I work with, because the cool thing about this industry is, yes, they're choosing me as a coach, right? But I'm choosing them as a client too. I don't have to work with you. Yeah, I do it all the time. But there are people that I've had meetings with, consultations with, that I have not agreed to be their coach simply because of that reason. Because they want to look a certain, like they want to have this unrealistic expectation.
Right.
And I tell them straight up, I'm like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's not going to. No, that's not going to work. That's not how it's going to. We can absolutely try to get you to be the best version of yourself. We will absolutely do that, and we can get you damn close. But some things just aren't going to happen.
Yeah,
and that's okay. And normally people don't like to hear that, and I just tell them hit the bricks.
Well,
Hit the bricks, bro.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
And then the other thing I think would be is, when you train, do you train more as, I guess, for functionality? If that makes sense.
Myself
Well,
or
like in general,
clients?
like whenever you're training clients. So like for me, which kind of helped my business, is when people go, I want to get in shape or whatever.
Okay.
I have an easier time when I explain things. So like how you explain squats to me.
Yeah.
I didn't understand how to explain squats until you explained it to me, and then I had to find my own way to do it.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
So I explained it as in like, this is how this transfers to a self-defense method.
Oh,
Right.
So like that's how I
Uh-huh,
kind of integrate self-defense with that is.
Yeah.
This is how I would transfer that.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
And I think it So it completely depends on the journey. It totally depends on the journey. If I'm working with powerlifters, right, the squat is not the means to the end; it is the end, right? So it's a little bit different situation, right?
Okay.
If I'm working with bodybuilding, it's a means to an end of building, bigger hips, bigger legs, and I say, okay, here's what squatting is going to do for you in that perspective. So yeah, you approach it. It depends on the journey. It all depends on the journey. But you always approach it as, okay, what's the end? What's the journey? What goals? And then you work backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was like, I'm trying to, even for me, I'm still trying to learn because I want to get to a point where, like, my goal is eventually just to be in a position where it's like, if I can meet any coaches or anything like that, and I got a facility, just come. Like, I just want to be able, and I want to be able to build a network where it's like, there's some people that I've met with, I'm like, I don't think I'm good for you. And I'm like, I know who would be. I had one client I wanted to send you, and then they kept talking, and I was like,
maybe not.
No, you're not gonna make it 5 minutes. It sounds like he might accidentally hurt your feelings.
Yeah, I'm not shy.
Yeah, he was like, that's not it. But I want to get to a point where it's like, if you hear my name, you go, that's awesome, and then I can go, my word is really good.
Oh yeah.
Go to them.
Yeah, I love that.
Vice versa, because at the end of the day, especially looking at how the communities are now, especially with the internet and all these random influencers, like, follow me for more fitness tips, where it's like,
your fitness tips are trash.
Right.
Like, yes.
Like, I want to build that
Don't
community
start.
back to what it was supposed to be.
Because
Because realistically, the gym is supposed to be like a cool, fun, and
yeah, man.
like, I give the biggest props to the people who are like, I see the people who are, out of shape or overweight, whatever they're dealing with. I love that. Yes. And they come in and they're like, they freak out. Hey, what's up? What you working on today?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, you got this. You can do it.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now it's kind of weird because I've walked into gyms and it's like, I don't need to be here because it's just awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I've actually had this conversation with you, and I've had it with a couple other people. There are some gyms that you just outgrow.
Yeah, we've talked about
that. And your fitness goals just don't line up with that particular place.
And that's okay.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
And so you go to, it's like, finding a place where you belong, where you're going to be able to surround yourself with people who know more than you, who are going to help you either achieve your goal on that journey or help you grow in that journey. And that journey may change based upon where you go.
Yeah. Can I add on to that too?
Please.
So when you first start off too, that's very narrow. It's very small.
Yeah.
As you grow and you start outgrowing gyms, right? You start learning that it's the funnel of people that and your knowledge base and even your journey itself gets wider and wider and wider and wider. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So it gets to the point. If you've been in this industry for a while, you kind of already know this, but a lot of times you'll find guys that have multiple gym memberships, and they're part of multiple gyms because of particular things, and particular people that they like, or particular equipment that they like, or just the vibe, or whatever. Like, you'll come across that, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. It just starts growing. Your network grows, and your knowledge base grows. And to tack on to what you said, I did that last night. I'm not the end all be all. Like, I know what I know, and I'm really good at what I do. But we had a customer come in, a super super cool guy, and he's going into strongman. Ooh. And I love it. Love the sport. Not my thing. Like, I'm not going to claim to know how to program for strongman. I don't. Yeah. But I got a guy. He's awesome. Competed internationally. Stupid strong. I've watched him in person do axle deadlift 660 for 11 reps.
What?
Jeez.
Stupid strong.
Jeez.
We're talking about an axle. Okay, 2 inch axle. Like, crazy. So I called him, and they got in contact with each other. Fantastic. But that happens, and it's. As you're in this longer and longer, that just happens naturally. Like, I've got people that like really good at strongman. I've got people that are really good at handling powerlifting for people with disabilities. I'm not your guy. Like, I don't know how to program around someone who lost a limb. That's not my specialty. I know people who do.
Yeah.
So, and I will talk to them, right? And then in the same token, like, I refer people to them, they refer people to you, and it just grows and grows and grows and grows. So yes, that absolutely continue to do that.
Do you think pride plays a big factor in the fitness industry too?
Oh, so much.
More than any other industry out there, I think.
Because
It's pathetic.
Because even with martial arts, like, so
Yeah, it's part of it too, yeah.
So my mindset has always been, like, I had a very Bruce Lee mindset. That was because, again, that's who I grew up kind of,
yeah, imitating, yeah.
everybody wants to be Bruce Lee.
Right.
And it was just one of those things where it's like, everything works and nothing works. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what in the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
But it makes so much sense. You
Yeah.
take the best of what you got and you put it together.
Yeah.
But I've met other martial artists and I'm like, how do you do this? Help me. And they're just like, you should be able to do this already.
Well, I can't. That's why I'm asking.
If I knew it, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, even
Yeah.
with,
people like to push other people down. I don't know why.
It's
I don't
too
get
much
it.
work.
Yeah.
Well,
It's too much energy. I don't know that kind of energy.
What I've always found hilarious and fascinating at the same time is that how not every trainer is right for every person.
yes.
Trainer and or coaches.
Yes, sorry. And when that particular client says, I'm going to try somebody else, that trainer or that coach gets butthurt or upset about it. Why? I mean, I understand losing a livelihood or or a paying client. I understand losing business. That can be upsetting. Absolutely understand.
Okay.
But when it's not a good fit,
Yeah. It depends. So that's a nuanced thing. And the reason I say that is because there's a term out there called coach jumpers. There are people who, if you're going to get with, if you're like, a trainer is a trainer. Like, you can get with a trainer, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Right.
Fire the trainer, get another trainer. But with a coach, you have to give it time. You have to allow the coach, you have to trust the coach, and that takes time to learn trust and to develop trust. And you have to give it a chance because you're not seeing immediate results. That's okay. Trust the process.
Right.
Give it some time.
okay. Now, what would you say is an adequate amount of time?
Everyone's different.
Okay.
Everyone's a little bit different. For me, and what I tell people, like a month, 2 months.
I'm talking about 6 months, a year. And if you're not seeing the results that you're wanting,
You should have switched before then. Yes.
okay.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
That wasn't specified.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. And I know that. But I mean,
if you're with someone for a year and you're not getting results, that's on you.
or if you,
Right. Because
but I mean, if you're following things to a
Call
T,
me.
If you're
Good Lord.
following, but I mean, I've worked with a trainer or a coach where it was several months and it just wasn't.
Really? You've had that experience?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry about
Oh yeah. But I mean, and that's why
Why
I'm
me?
yeah.
send help.
Yeah, I mean, and one, I mean, I want to find somebody who's one going to help me grow my journey.
Yeah.
Two, who is going to sit there and go? Who's not going to sit there and go? Well, you need to stick with me forever.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Nobody sticks with.
Yeah.
My goal is to get rid of you.
Yeah,
Which is horrible.
No,
You-
dude,
I
I,
mean,
love
but-
that you just said that.
No,
Yes.
no, I think that's good because one, that means that you're teaching somebody a skill.
You got
Yeah.
to be self-sufficient
Yeah.
at one point in time.
And when that person realizes that you're teaching them and they're able to grow
Yeah.
outside of what you've taught them,
Yeah.
that speaks volumes for you because guess
Correct.
what? If you're doing that for me, I'm going to turn around and go, you need to talk to Cody. You need to talk to
Yeah,
Andrew.
100%.
Because I wouldn't be here where I'm at without them.
Yes.
They can help you.
Yes, 100%. I love that you said that, and that goes back to like building that funnel, right? And building and never outgrowing where
Right.
you are. So you should. I've kind of mentioned this. I've talked about this before. I never want to be the big fish in a small pond. Always be the small fish in the big pond. Always be like learning and growing and pushing yourself. Again, I don't know everything. I have my specialties. I'm really good at what I do, but what I do is what I do. And if you're working with me over a certain amount of time, like you will get to a point where you get beyond that, outgrow that. That's great. That's great. Move forward. The whole point of what we're doing is getting you to progress, right? Now, I have clients that are long-term clients that are super happy and they love the relationship and they love what we do, and we're continuing, like constantly building, and like, it's slow growth.
Yeah.
That's great. That's what they want to do. And that's great. And we've communicated with it. Beautiful. Perfect. Right? But you should be open and upfront and honest with your coach. And I've had conversations with people that come to me and be like, hey, I think I'm ready to move on. Perfect. What's your journey? What's the next goal? They say XYZ. I say, okay, I got a guy.
Yeah.
That whole roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it goes from you, and then it's like, oh, it goes to somebody else.
Yeah.
And then if they still
and you've
struggle,
already built that trust with that person.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they already
because you program nutrition, because they can still move on to that and be like, I still need you as my nutrition.
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I mean that I don't care about that. If they need to, they need to. Great. The point is whatever's best for them.
It's best for them.
It's best for them.
Because like I had one issue with one client ever. It was so awkward. It was the one that we talked about.
Oh, we talked about a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that one in particular.
Yeah, but that's sorry. That person. That person allowed all this other noise to come in.
So essentially what happened was doing great, went from the high 4s, and I got him into the 3s.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Real fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lost a lot of weight.
Nice.
And then all of a sudden, as I guess one of my friends would call it, somebody pretty shows up.
Yeah.
And then you go and they go, hi.
Mm-hmm.
Gone.
Yeah.
Now what it irritated me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm
it's going to.
Because if I'm there for you and you call me, you text me,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, if you need me, by all means.
Yeah.
Right.
I may not be the fastest person to be like, communicate back,
Yeah.
but I will get you because I need to give you a thoughtful response.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or depending on what you told me, I need to go consult somebody who knows something more than me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what ended up happening was the moment that happened, I was like, it's cool. I wish you the best. I'll still be here if you have some questions. Granted, it won't be like I can just do everything for you because I have other people.
Right.
I got like the biggest middle finger where it was like, you started posting somebody else as your trainer.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have the nerve to send me this message of, you only used me because of this.
And we've talked about that.
And I was
before
like,
too.
Which,
that's not okay.
Right, because as a trainer, I'm like, that's never the intention.
Yeah.
Because, like, granted, I know I've met some trainers where when I see their clientele, all of them are pretty women.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen somebody who's just like, they look like somebody who's been on Instagram and, I know some people who, I'm like, that's your niche? Good for you.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy how people sometimes turn on you for doing the right thing.
You're gonna get that a lot.
Yeah,
that happens.
And sometimes it's like me being younger. Sometimes it's hard for me to not want to be petty, and I got to take a step back and go, I'm not gonna do it.
It happens to you enough times where it's just like, okay, it is what it is, and it's hard not to take that personal. It's kind of like that conversation we had about you're working with someone and. Again, like working with a coach jumper, and the results haven't fully actualized yet, and then they jump ship and go to someone else, and all of a sudden they're getting, they're starting to see their progress, and they're attributing it all to that person they're working with today. Well,
there was a foundation that was made.
Yeah. And part of my programming too is whatever. It depends on the journey. Again, depends on the journey and the situation, but. I'll program that foundational stuff, and there's not going to be a lot of like progression in a sense of like weight going up and the weight's increasing because there's stuff we got to do first.
Yeah,
baby steps.
It's baby steps, and then they switch. They jump ship and go to someone else, and then that other person is just like throwing crap at them, and it looks terrible.
Oh yeah,
and it's just not the way it should be, but they're increasing in weight, so they consider that to be progress. Mm-hmm. It's not progress.
It's that instant gratification.
And what ends up happening is once that that foundation that you started, and they're trying to build a rickety house on top of it, and that thing falls apart, and all that's left is that all that's left is injury, and disappointment, and then what happens? They quit.
They quit. Yeah, they stop. And that goal's never realized that journey.
Yeah, and then
that journey never.
Yeah, and then
finalized.
they're like, well, I started out so good, and then it just didn't work.
Because what's crazy is, so the person in question, we end up having a conversation. And sometimes Brie will tell me, she's like, you gotta be nice. Walked in one day, he was in the gym. I told him, we need to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But I'm like, I know you sometimes get sensitive with stuff we talk about, but understand, I'm like, I'm not saying it to be mean.
Yeah.
Like, listen to the message, don't listen to how I deliver it. And I'm like, sometimes I don't deliver the best.
Yeah. I think you should. I think you should listen to how it's delivered. I think you should listen to the message and the delivery.
Sometimes.
Every time.
That conversation needs to be started. They need to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Definitely.
And then, because he was very, hum-ho about stuff, and it would agitate him. And I'm like, look, there's no reason for you to get hyped, be violent, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, what's your issue? Person was like, oh, I thought you hated me. No. I was like, I have no reason.
Yeah.
But we're in a good spot. We're cool now.
Yeah.
Saw them the other day. I was like, how's everything going?
Yeah.
He's like, back to square one.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it goes,
But
dude.
it's crazy.
Yeah, you cannot want it more for them than they want it for themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to step back.
Yeah. Otherwise,
it's so hard to do. That's something that. Struggle with.
Yeah, because it would seem like when you want it more than them, and they end up falling back and going back to square one, you thinking
it's easy to get angry.
Where did I mess up?
Yeah, and it's not you.
It's not you. It absolutely isn't.
It's them.
I mean, there's only so much that you can do for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You can only lead them to the water so many times before they take a drink on their own.
Yeah, or they die of thirst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drink your poison.
Yeah. They're either going to drink or they're not going to drink, and
or they drown.
Or they drown. They go in too deep. That happens, right? That happens too. They go in too deep.
Yeah.
And they that's kind of what I was talking about before. Like, I set them out foundation, I lead them to water, and I lead them to the bank, and then someone else comes in, they're like, oh, just come in the water, just dive right in. They're not ready for it, and they drown.
Yep.
What's that movie? Oh, dang, I can't think of it. I can't swim. Chunk them.
I don't know.
That's a lot of movies.
Yeah, but it's absolutely true. Yeah.
It's all black and white movie. That's all I remember.
Yeah. Why you gotta make this about race, man?
Wow.
We're all shades of wheat.
It's so good. Somebody told me you were black. I don't know. I don't see it.
I will say the first time when I first started working as a medical assistant at my other job, they heard me on the phone and they were like, we swore you were white. And I was like, that's the most racist thing I've ever heard in my life. They go, why?
Yeah.
Like, are you trying to say that black people don't have... He's like, no.
Oh,
I'm
really?
Like, I was like, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So I have to preface with what I said. Like, dude, Cody and I go back and forth all the time. We're
bullshit.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Like,
it's great.
Yeah. But no, it's good. So I gotta do a shout out to Mike. So he knows what I'm talking about. So we have this customer who comes in. His name's Mike. Super good dude. Love you, Mike. He's hilarious. And we all three had a conversation, and we were crying laughing. It was so fun about just bullshit random stuff. There was some racist jokes in there. But it's all good fun. It's so funny. That was good. That was hilarious.
Well, I mean, it's like when we're at Relentless and talk about D.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
So sniffy.
I mean,
we're so offended.
You got to make fun of yourself. You got to be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah, dude.
I
make fun of myself so much. Man, he makes fun of me. Whatever.
I mean,
okay.
I make fun of everybody.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's too damn sensitive.
Yeah, get over yourself.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Laugh. It'll fix your mental health a little bit.
Yeah. That's why I like to wear the kind of fit, kind of fat shirts. Dude, people I've seen laugh and just generally get a huge smile
that
out of
one with
shirt.
the pizza.
I was wearing that yesterday.
It's so funny.
And I went by the UPS store to check on the stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And this woman stops me and she goes, I love your shirt.
Yeah. And you have the one with the donut on it.
Oh, yeah, the one with the donut. Yeah, the slap me harder daddy one.
So funny.
There was one.
I made somebody genuinely uncomfortable wearing that shirt. It's
perfect.
It's like,
If you're gonna get uncomfortable about something like that, you deserve to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, who cares, man?
Good
My
Lord.
God.
There
What were you
was,
gonna say?
there was one I saw. It says, "I'm bench pressing so my girl can sit on my face."
Oh yeah, good.
And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, I was on my phone, and I'm like,
It's so funny.
she said, "You buy that? Don't you dare!"
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've got one. I've got
the butthole whisperer. One?
Yeah, I've got a shirt. Got a shirt. It's like 70s, like what's it called? Layered, like the 70s layered font or whatever, and it says "Butthole Whisperer" on it. Yeah, it's so dumb.
I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta laugh.
Yeah.
Everything's too serious nowadays. People
Yeah,
are
and
not
that's what
enjoying
we're doing.
Yeah,
that's
what
what
is
the point of this is. Right?
Spread,
Let's
I like
have
this
some fun.
spread cheeks, not hate.
Yeah, spread cheeks on hate. Yeah. Yeah.
all day, every day.
Yeah. There's this webcomic that I think is really funny. I think it's called Slice of Allen. I can't remember, but it's this guy. It's this comic strip about him and his girl, and he's laying on the ground.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's laying on the ground. And he's like crying and upset, and his girl comes in. And she's like, "Oh, I have a hard day." And he's like, "Yeah, can you do the thing?" And the next slide, it's her sitting on his face. He's like, "There's just tears coming down."
Oh, I thought it was something else. Where,
it's so good.
where it's like a guy, you just see his face like really, just like lower,
yeah,
lower, and
that's
this
the
girl
same
like,
comic, that's the
okay,
same
yeah,
comic.
or she's
Yeah.
like doing squats, and he's just like laying on deck,
Yeah.
like trying to the floor underneath her.
So funny. So, all right, let's stop there.
Yeah, you gotta wrap it up.
We're running
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Appreciate you coming by the bar.
Yeah, appreciate you coming by. Cody, dude, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Anytime.
you being on.
That was fun.
Love to have you
Yeah,
again,
it's
man.
cool, right?
It'd
It's
be a lot of fun.
therapeutic and it's cathartic, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So, with that, we appreciate it.
Come by for the next one.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Like, subscribe.
Yes, please like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, spread the good word.
Repost.
Repost. Absolutely.
Repost.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Repost. Yeah.
Put it on your story.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just gonna blast this to everybody. I'm gonna start
Yeah,
blasting
why
to
not?
everyone.
Why not?
Yeah. So anyway, thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Bye.